for us also, and I'll try to spread these practices in rest of the student radio in India.
My name is Arniemi. I come from Finland. I work as a development manager and editor-in-chief at the University of Lahti.
How important do you feel college radio is for students?
Well, for students, college radio is probably the only channel where you can actually promote your own thoughts and create your own professional self in an actual real-life settings. Because if you want to work with media, there's not that many stations out there who are willing to take you as a total rookie and do your own show and interview people. With student radio, you can basically do everything that is professional just by do-it-yourself attitude and learning things on your own.
My name is Paula Healy. I am from Flirt FM 101.3, which is in the west coast of Ireland in Galway, and I'm also the secretary of CRAIL, the Community Radio Forum of Ireland. I think the best bit is just the feeling of solidarity and finding out what's going on around the rest of the world, because I literally didn't know that much about other organisations, like how many stations there are in each country, what the setup's like, what the people are like, and now I feel like I'm going to go back to Ireland with a better view of what's going on around the world.
My name is Meryl, and I am part of Chem FM.
What's your favourite thing to listen to on college radio?
Oh, I love, so I'm part of Chem FM and we do a lot of drama and scripted comedy, and I do love that. It makes me laugh and it's not just music based, so I think it's great to have also that side of radio explored on the station.
Lorenza Samuels. I'm currently head of media at Oaks College. I can see lots of great things for Oaks Radio. I think that it's going to have some really fantastic roles for the students to get into, and I think they're going to be able to share their voices and share their passions, which I'm really excited about.
We're from Oaks Radio at Oaks Sixth Form College.
Lucas Ford from Oaks Radio.
Corey Dakin from Oaks Radio.
Tristan Picking from Oaks Radio.
World College Radio Day would like to thank the students of Oaks Radio for recording this feature and congratulate them on winning the Broadcasters of Tomorrow Award at the Alternatives 2019 conference at the University of Cambridge, England.
This is World College Radio Day.
A day where college radio stations across the globe unite to celebrate the most powerful medium.
Radio is like word of mouth. It very much influences whatever's going on.
This is World College Radio Day.
WXAV 88.3 FM, broadcast from St. Xavier University in Chicago. The students from WXAV were at the recent Riot Fest event and were granted access to speak with Rise Against, Save Ferris, Manchester Orchestra, and more. Here's their report.
Hi, this is Holly from WXAV, and I'm here with Rise Against today. So how does it feel headlining a hometown fest?
It's great. You know, we're from Chicago, obviously. We've been a band for 20 years, and it's our second Riot Fest.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're with a lot of great bands, Jawbreaker, Avail.
Yeah, Guar, Descendants.
Guar, which Zach was in Guar,
yeah.
His buddies. But yeah, no, it's great. It feels good, yeah.
How important do you think it is to be politically outspoken in the current political climate?
I think I think musicians can stay quiet or be political, or I think musicians that feel like having an opinion on something should speak their mind, because just because we're in a band doesn't mean we're not human. We don't have opinions on stuff. We're not worried about politics and our insane president and all those things. So yeah, I think like I said, I think it's up to each individual whether they want to publicly talk about politics or not. Yeah.
And then the last question, because we're a college station, so we were wondering if, what role radio has played for your guys' career, or college radio in particular, if you have anything like that.
It's immense. I mean, you go to some place, they play your song, you come back, and the place is packed. You know, yeah.
Yeah, there's places that they only hear music through radio, you know, and I remember the first time we had a song on the radio, it was a huge deal, especially me and him. We're not spring chickens anymore, but when we were kids, radio was massive. I mean, that's college radio, and even like the local rock station was, you know, it was how you heard about bands and stuff. So yeah, it's huge. It's really important.
Thank you.
It is Anthony Lopez, aka DJ Napkin, here at Riot Fest with Manchester Orchestra. So first of all, I was just wondering if we could just pass this mic around and do some introductions.
Hello, my name is Andy. Hello, my name is Robert. And this is Andy again.
So I gotta ask about Riot Fest. That's the reason I'm here with you guys. But you guys have played it in the past, so I was just wondering, like, what significance does this festival have to you guys, both as musicians and just like as people, as fan of music?
I think it's a really cool festival because it's one of the few festivals that is guitar-based. Now there's, so many great genres, but I love that this is specifically rock music. So it's fun for us to not be the loudest band and to get to be loud with everyone else.
My best friend, one of his favorite bands is the Front Bottoms, so he's having me ask this question. But they're also like a Riot Fest regular, and we were just wondering like how your experience was collaborating with them, and if this festival had anything to do with like you guys linking up.
We've been friends with those dudes for a long time when they were a smaller band, and now we're an equal-sized band, and we love them dearly. We had Brian open up a few solo shows for Manchester last month. They're just dear friends who write really great songs, and there's not a whole lot of smoke and mirrors there. They're just great, and ever since we met them, we knew we liked them, and they keep making great records, so they're sort of definitely on our wavelength.
I was just wondering like what role radio has played in your guys and like in the trajectory of your career. And if you have any specifics about college radio, that would be great too.
Well, I mean, college radio is really important. It was extremely important at the beginning of our career, with just people taking a chance on new bands and playing things that aren't normally being played. And you have the support of people that like your music and can show it to people who maybe haven't heard of you before. And so we try and make it a point to, when we're asked to do certain things, to show the respect back for what they've done for us as a band.
Great meeting with you guys, and like, yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for listening to us, man. We hope we don't let you down.
It's Anthony Lopez here in the press area of Riot Fest 2019, and I am here with Monique of Safe Ferris.
Hi.
So it'd be appropriate to describe your band's music as ska, right?
Yeah, I mean, we came from a third wave ska scene in Orange County in Southern California. But the thing about our wave of ska is that it's very punky, very poppy, and for Safe Ferris, there's a large like jazz element to it, which is nice. And we're bringing in a lot more of like Motown and soul as well. So yeah, but we play it all on the upbeat. So we're a ska band. And
Yeah, for sure. We're a college station, so I was just wondering, like, what role radio and maybe specifically college radio has played in your career.
Yeah, so when Safe Ferris first started going to radio with our first single, it was exclusively college radio. And it was because of college radio that we were able to have a career, It definitely launched our careers. And I also had a little show on my college radio station when I was in college. So my heart is in it for you guys, for sure.
This was Anthony Lopez, aka DJ Napkin, catching up here with Monique.
Hi, it's Monique from Safe Ferris. Thanks.
Bye.
You are listening to World College Radio Day 2019. This program will continue in just a moment.
World College Radio Day will unite hundreds of college radio stations across the world.
It's a truly global event.
Join us on October 4th
to celebrate the important medium of student radio.
World College Radio Day.
Only on student radio will you hear it first.
So join us on October 4th for World College Radio Day.
Kommt zusammen am World College Radio Day.
A truly global celebration.
For more information, visit collegeradio.org.
Welcome back. You are listening to World College Radio Day 2019.
Hi all, it's Ari Hautaniemi from Finland speaking. I work as the editor-in-chief of the Limo Radio, funded by the Lahti University of Applied Sciences. For the past couple of years, I've also been the president of the World College Radio Day Network, a group of people organizing the annual celebration of international student, campus, university and college radio. As part of my work in developing the operations of Limo Radio at my university, I've been extremely interested in listening to all sorts of radio, both in my country and throughout the world. The most innovative, enthusiastic and authentic stuff has made a huge difference in comparison to the rest. This difference has come from the realm of student radio. I say this not because I have to or because it's World College Radio Day, I say this because it's truly so. As mainstream media try hard to reach masses with highly regulated, standardized and formatted content, with music that doesn't really take risks, it has become ever more difficult to find true alternatives from the airwaves. The conglomeration of media outlets has led to a situation where the differences in voice, diversity of music and the excitement of being able to use the freedom of speech to educate and communicate new cultural phenomenon are becoming extinct. There are countries in which the concentration of media has led to deep concerns about media pluralism in general. In layman terms, every station sounds the same and you hear all the same hit songs from every channel. This both saddens me, but makes me hopeful of the future. As I've had the privilege of being part of a movement of student radio, I know that there still is a strong group of people devoted to making sure that the new and interesting stuff gets airtime, that the nirvanas of the future that aren't able to overcome the threshold of mainstream media still get heard by the devoted listeners and communities wanting to hear new music curated by actual people, not algorithms. Despite the crisis of media and the rise of streaming services of millions of songs in your pocket, there is more demand than ever for humanity. That is where student radio excels, with all its hiccups, fouls and errors, with grassroots people doing media from their own bases. It is you who make the difference with every minute you spend in the studio and with every odd post-punk avant-garde piece from GarageBand next door you choose to play. They heard it first on college radio, and thanks to you, they will continue to do so in the future. Be proud. You make a difference.
Hi, this is Chris from the band Coldplay. College radio supports music that deserves to be heard.
Without college radio, I wouldn't know 70% of the bands that I know of today.
They wouldn't get that fighting chance. Music that isn't played anywhere else. College radio is the fighting chance. College radio takes risks.
College radio remains as the only genuine form of creative radio programming still existing today.
College radio is a very important medium that needs to survive in difficult economic times when some stations are being sold off and shut down.
If it disappeared, the world would be a sad place.
College radio is the future for broadcasting stars and pioneers of tomorrow.
A place for people to perfect their skills.
And we as a band, Coldplay, support the vital mission of college radio, and we also support College Radio Day, the day that college radio comes together.
Connect with so many other students across the country.
Enjoy today and long live college radio.
Spin Doctors are an American rock band from New York City, best known for their early 1990s hits Two Princes and Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, which peaked on the Billboard Hot 100 chart at number 7 and number 17 respectively. The band includes Chris Barron, the lead singer, who talked to UTA Radio's Lance Liguez, also president of College Radio Day. Chris Barron looks back on a remarkable journey.
Chris Barron, lead singer of the Spin Doctors, joins us here for College Radio Day. Chris, you may not know this, but 2019 is the 9th year for College Radio Day. But it's also a special year because it's 30 years of Spin Doctors.
That's right. Yeah.
And so have you had a chance to think about that and reflect and just generally ruminate about how awesome that is?
Yeah, and on a lot of different levels. You know, it's for one thing, I mean, the first thing that just comes to mind is my friendship with the guys in the band. I think one of the really sort of interesting dynamics about the Spin Doctors is a lot of bands form, because rock bands form out of like a friendship. You know, you go to school together, college, high school, something like that. And we didn't form because we were friends at all. Like, in fact, for a large part of our career, we haven't particularly liked each other that much. And, you know, we really got together because each guy in the band thought the other three guys were the best guys around. Now, 30 years into it, I actually think it's been really good. That initial beginning was really good for the future of our friendship, because we just take each other as we are. There was never like a romanticized idea of like, hey, we're bros, you know, like you don't do that to a bro. Or like we've just been so nasty to each other, had huge fights over the years that weren't like actually friendship threatening, because the foundation of our relationship has always been personal. So now we know each other's kids, and ever since then we've sort of had that kind of a relationship. But also, like, my relationship with this band was like the beginning for me of learning how to play in a professional musical unit, learning the language of explaining how a piece of music is going to go, the dynamics, the structure of it. So for me, it's kind of cool, because now I'm like 51 years old, and I've been doing this like for 30 years with these guys, and it's been really kind of cool. And another thing that sort of played out from that professional perspective from the beginning is just I go and work with other people, and I realized those guys trained me really well.
Well, when it comes to college radio, you have to get started somewhere. When you're a band, you're starting out, you're trying to get your music out there to the masses. And tell me a little bit about how college radio helped the Spin Doctors and how beneficial that was to you.
Well, my personal experience with college radio, growing up in Princeton, we had this amazing station called PRB that was Princeton's like student radio station. And radio-wise, I was really lucky growing up in Princeton, because in New York City, there were these iconic stations like WPLJ, WNBC, and then in Philly we had MMR, and in Princeton there was a commercial station called PST. So these were all these really cool rock stations with these great, like, you know, DJs and these figures. Some of your younger listeners, it's sort of hard to contextualize how important the radio was when there wasn't any other way to find new music except, you know, going to the record store, like buying a record and bringing it home and listening to it, you know. And the DJs were arbiters of the taste and music, and they were these cool personalities and didn't know what they looked like. It was cool, you know, because the people call radio like theater of the mind, you know, and there was so much room for your imagination to like take over. And so anyway, PRB in Princeton, the Princeton College station was really cool, because they would, like, you could turn it on any time of the day or night, and you didn't know what you were going to get. It might be like a string quartet playing some, like, you know, crazy Bella Bartok stuff, or it could be some old gut bucket blues. I mean, I picked up a lot of the blues stuff, you know, listening to PRB, but also there were, like, you know, college kids in there playing like the Feelies and you know, all these like really cool Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, like all this really cool, hip, crazy stuff that you just weren't going to find anywhere else. And, you know, me being a townie, we found out where it was, and we thought it was going to be some kind of like marble palace, you know, like sitting in a bed of clouds with, like, you know, I don't know, you know, these like robots going around like picking out the records. I don't know what I thought it was going to be. But you get there, and, you know, just like, you know, how these college stations are, it's like beat up old wooden shelves with like millions of records on them, and like
Hey, I'm right here, okay?
stinky carpet, and like really old coffee, and like, you know, just like this funky junky, like, you know. And back then, I mean, PRB was probably like, the last time it had been decorated was probably like, you know, 1968 or something like that. So everything was just funky and smelly, but it was awesome. You know, it was better. It was better than if it was like a palatial kind of, you know, bat cave of like, right? It was more like, you know, it was kind of cool. It was so dingy. And pretty soon, my friend Davis Smith got a show. And he was in high school, and I don't really remember what he did to get a show. I think he just hounded them and hounded them and hounded them. It became easier to give him a show than it was to, like, blow him off. So Davis had, like, you know...
That counts. You did college radio a little bit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, I was, like, my buddy's, like, hanger-on during his show. Well, when we went out, when the Spin Doctors went out and we were doing our first gigs out of town, you know, because we weren't like quite touring yet. Like first we didn't know how to put a tour together, so we would just go up to Ithaca, or we would go up to Boston, or we'd go like, you know, up down to DC, and we would just, like, our manager would call, just be like, hey, we're Spin Doctors. We're going to be playing this club in your town. Can we come by? And, you know, like, they were usually just some college kids who were like, yeah, like, cool, can we come by now? Like, sure, you know, and they just put us on the air, and they'd be like, they were like psyched, because, like, you know, a lot of times they were just like, wow, there's a real band here that's playing this club that we know in town, you know, and so that was really fun.
You know, after you became pretty huge in 93 and 94 with the success of Pocket Full of Kryptonite, that time must have been crazy.
Yeah.
That was just the blow up of everything that, you know, people call grunge, and you were lumped into that as well. Describe that time.
Well, you know, another college radio story from that period of time was did a gig in San Francisco at a place called the DNA Lounge, and after the show, came off, got set down on the bus, and Jason, our manager, had, like, you know, back then they had these, like, radio, like, rags, you know, we called them rags, like these magazines, and in the back was, like, every college chart in the country. It was usually, like, I don't know, it's like 20 pages of just college charts, and with pretty small print. And Jay was like, hey, we're #1 at this station in New Jersey. And we were like, we were doing our first national tour, so in New York, you know, we were pounding these clubs, like playing big clubs and selling them out. And on the Eastern Seaboard, we were doing really well. We were playing 300 to 500 seat places. But we were, and then San Diego, we had a pretty strong following. But we were like, you know, we were building up the country at that point in time. So we were still, like, going around the country and playing in, like, Albuquerque for 15 people and that kind of thing, you know.
And the album's out at this point, right?
The album was out. Well, the album languished for a long time. So the album is out, and Jason's like, hey, we're #1 at this station in New Jersey. Can't remember which one it was. And I was like, so we're #1. And it was like, yeah. And I was like, I mean, we are #1. Like, it doesn't matter that it's just some little station. We're #1. We can say we're #1 because we're #1 somewhere.
And the beer and the champagne started flowing, right? Yeah. The party started at that point. Chris Barron, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Let's. Thank you.
You are listening to World College Radio Day 2019. Here at First is our theme this year, and one person who experienced the thrill and impact of playing music on college radio before anyone else is George Gamark. George Douglas Gamark, born 1957, is an American disc jockey, record and radio program producer, and author based in Texas. He's known for his extensive and authoritative knowledge about the classic rock radio format, recorded music in general, and specifically the era of punk rock. His broadcast programs have been heard in various formats in the U.S., Europe, and New Zealand, via licensed stations and unlicensed pirate radio transmitters. Gamark began his career as an intern at WRRAM in Dallas, then worked in college as a disc jockey on the University of North Texas radio station KNTU. In the spring of 1977, he started a new weekly show that eventually became known as the Rock and Roll Alternative. This was one of the first regular new wave or punk radio shows in the United States. The Rock and Roll Alternative program was responsible for introducing acts such as REM, the Go-Go's, U2, the Psychedelic Furs, the Sex Pistols, Devo, the B-52s, XTC, the Smiths, the Cult, and hundreds of others to the listening audience of the Dallas and Fort Worth Metroplex listening area from 1977 onwards. Talking to Rob Quick, founder of College Radio Day, Gamark shares his stories of when he used his college radio show so his audience could hear it first before anyone else.
I first came across George Gamark when I heard his college radio air check playing a band called 17 on the air for the very first time. That band would eventually become The Alarm. But it was George who played them on college radio first, along with many other artists that would eventually become massively successful in the 1980s. It was George's college radio show where many people would hear it first. So here's a clip from George's air check from April 20th, 1980 on the college station KNTU.
The name of the group is 17. Don't Let Go, our new wave KNTU. It's 2:15 here, and we will be back in just a moment with a new record by the Undertones. Stick around.
Now, George, please remember to wash your hands before you unpack your lunch. Yes.
What I used to do when I was a precocious college student, I started up a new wave and punk show in the spring of '77 on this college radio station. And I was playing whatever was coming across my path, what I could find in the import bins in Dallas. And I would gather up about $100 every once in a while, and I would send it off either to Rough Trade Record Shop or to Dirty Dick's Record Shop, or there was a couple of them. And I would just, pop $100 cash in an envelope and send it off and say, send me a box of interesting stuff. And they would send me records that were sometimes wondrous and sometimes awful and sometimes in between. And I would get some of the most bizarre indies that you could imagine. And, of course, here I was getting them in the heart of America. I was probably the first person within a 10-state area to own a lot of these odd little records, because they were things that local bands had walked into Rough Trade Records and dropped off 15 copies and said, hey, sell our record for us, and of course Rough Trade would take anything. So I'm assuming that's what happened, is that 17 were in London on one of their first gigs down south, and they probably dropped a wad of singles off, and then here it is, 8 weeks later, one of them is being mailed to the middle of America into the hands of a broadcaster, an amateur broadcaster. And I just spun it up on my show, and I know I played it several times because I liked the record. It was a good record. I just never dreamed I would actually find an air check with me playing that very recording, because I was on the air, once a week for 3 years on that radio station, and I probably only have 6 recordings of me on the air at that station, and one of them happened to be that.
This was the 1970s, a time pre-internet, before YouTube and Spotify, for you to discover new music. So basically you found a way to get music physically shipped to you from the UK. But it wasn't just the alarm that you discovered and played on the air, was it?
Yeah, I mean, I could pretty much guarantee I was the only person up until the early 80s that was playing the Cure and the B-52s and Depeche Mode and U2 and, you name it, Sex Pistols, The Clash, because there was no outlet for that. There was no college radio anywhere that was playing that stuff. The regular broadcasters, the commercial broadcasters, they might play a Blondie track or maybe flirt with an Elvis Costello, but they were never going to fiddle with any of the other stuff.
Right, so in many ways you were a pioneer. What was it like when you play music like The Cure, for example, for the first time? Did you get a positive response from the audience? Did they recognize what you were doing?
Oh, yes. There was quite a following for the show, and then the show did well enough that I got picked up. When I graduated college, I got picked up immediately by the #1 rock station in Dallas, which was a top 5 market at that time. So it was quite a jump up for me in the career ladder, and all of a sudden I had a much larger signal to start playing bands. So when bands would come through Dallas or come through Texas, they would always stop by. Sometimes bands going from New York to LA, driving through America, would work their way to Dallas because they knew that I was there and, was supporting their career.
Your show was called The Rock and Roll Alternative. It was then picked up by a big station, the Zoo KZEW in Dallas. And that was when you really started to get traction, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, immediately. And we started selling records and started promoting concerts that got increasingly larger and larger venues. I mean, we had bands. Okay, here's how crazy it is. I was with, let's say U2. I was playing U2 as an indie band out of Ireland on CBS. Then they got signed. And I was playing those records as they came out. The first time they played Dallas, I had barely gotten to the radio station at KZEW. I'd been there only a couple months. And their American record had only been out like 2 weeks, and there were 30 people at the show for U2. The second time on the October tour, the club was full, but it was still a club. The third tour, they were coming through supporting the new album War. And they were at a 3,000-seat arena, and we put about 2,200 people into the arena. Still, even at that time, with Sunday Bloody Sunday and Pride in the Name of Love and all that, I was the only guy in the Dallas-Fort Worth area playing that record. That's crazy.
So from the early college radio days until now, you've had quite a career, including writing several books like your 3 punk diaries covering 1970 to 1982, and syndicated radio shows, etc. In a nutshell, how did your career blossom since college radio?
Oh, it's a lot. There's a lot of things. I have a lot of sticks with plates spinning on top of them, because I did music radio up until the mid-90s and created a format, a commercial alternative format in America called The Edge, which got syndicated and became quite successful. Then I went into talk radio and went into where I was telling stories about music, because my music is not just alternative music. It's also what would be called oldies, or 50s and 60s music, or blues, or I've got a pretty broad base of music that I'm interested in. Did the books, as you said. The book led me to a relationship with John Lydon, a.k.a. Johnny Rotten. We did a radio show which turned into a television show for about 5 years. That was a lot of fun. I've been working with finding lost recordings and getting them to market. I recently did an album with Universal of a whole bunch of recordings that Glenn Campbell made, recording demos for Elvis Presley. I did an album with Omnivore, which was an hour's worth of completely unknown Hank Williams recordings from 1950. That actually won a Grammy. And I'm working on all sorts of other projects like that all the time.
My thanks to George for his time, and I think you'll be hearing more from him in the Vinylthon 2020 event. For more information about George Gimarc, please visit gimarc.com, GIMARC.com.
You are listening to World College Radio Day 2019. Sunflower Bean is an American rock band from Glen Head, New York, and Brooklyn, founded in 2013. UTA Radio's Lance Liguez talked to the band when they came to their studios.
Started in Brooklyn, New York, right?
Started in Long Island.
Yeah. Oh, it's Long Island, okay.
Me and Jacob are from, and Danny here, our keyboardist, are from Long Island, about maybe like 15 to 20 miles outside of the city.
And you really got noticed back at CMJ a few years back, College Music Journal Music Marathon, which unfortunately isn't around anymore. That thing kind of folded, darn it.
Yeah.
And we were there, we were there, I think, a couple of years before you guys out there, just running all over the city, which was great. But that was a great showcase to show what you guys were all about and kind of get you all started, right?
Yeah, I've actually heard about, I think some other kind of members of like Brooklyn are starting a new kind of festival, and I think there's like some responses to it kind of being done, which I'm really hopeful about, because I really feel for a lot of younger bands that are really trying to do it in New York, and I think like the world doesn't realize that when these opportunities kind of fold, it's also like sort of closing a door on a lot of people that are really trying to do something. So I hope that CMJ, the feeling of it comes back in a different iteration, because you're right, it was really important to us being able to move on a national level.
And a lot of the folks who attend things like that are college radio stations and student media like ourselves. And what is it about college radio, in your opinion, that just makes it so awesome? Say something nice about us.
I think first of all, they give, they play music like ours, from maybe lesser known bands or artists and things, and really give them, the chance and invite them in to do sessions and things, and really give people a platform who wouldn't normally have it on, larger radio stations.
I think college radio stations are, especially historically, just really, really important for creativity and for bands in general and more alternative artists being able to find the people that is really like their home. So I think college music is like infinitely important to what we do and what a lot of people do.
This program will continue in just a moment.
World College Radio Day. World College Radio Day.
Hello to the world.
Καλημέρα σε όλους. Εκπέμπουμε ζωντανά από το ραδιοφωνικό σταθμό του Πανεπιστημίου Πατρών.
Από την Ελλάδα σε όλο τον κόσμο.
e é do World College Radio Day.
Estão a ouvir o Dia Mundial das Rádios Universitárias.
Sinä kuuntelet maailman opiskelijaradiopäivää, World College Radio Day.
You tuned in to World College Radio Day, a day where college radio stations across the globe unite to celebrate the most powerful medium.
The Black Keys is an American rock band formed in Akron, Ohio in 2001. The group consists of Dan Auerbach on guitar and vocals and Patrick Carney on drums. The duo began as an independent act, recording music in basements and self-producing their records. The group's commercial breakthrough came in 2010 with Brothers, which along with its popular single Tighten Up, won 3 Grammy Awards. After completing the Turn Blue tour in 2015, the duo took a hiatus for several years to work on side projects and produce other artists. They returned in 2019 with their 9th album, Let's Rock. We are delighted to have the Black Keys as our official ambassadors for College Radio Day 2019. WMSC at Montclair State University conducted this interview by Austin Jeffers.
Hello and welcome to College Radio Day 2019. My name is Austin Jeffers and I am the music director at WMSC FM Radio and Montclair State University. It is an honor and a privilege to be talking with Patrick Carney of The Black Keys, who are the newly crowned 2019 College Radio Day ambassadors. Their latest album, Let's Rock, was on the top #1 spot on the North American College and Community Radio chart for 5 consecutive weeks, giving The Black Keys the title for the NACC's longest run in 2019.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, Austin.
Yeah, so college radio has a proud history of music discovery and being a part of an artist foundation. So what are your thoughts on college radio?
The importance of college radio can't be overstated. Growing up in Akron, we had a college radio station that was actually designed to teach broadcasting skills, but because of that, they formatted the station after like a pop station. So when we were in high school, they were playing just pop dribble. But my dad used to take us on these vacations, car trips, and we would have access to the radio. And in an early age, I discovered that there was these things that were left in the dial that were playing all the music that I liked. And my girlfriend, or in college, I should say, went to Oberlin College, and she got a show on WOBC at like 4 in the morning. And I used to drive from Akron to Oberlin, which is like an hour drive, and at like 3 in the morning and go into the radio station and help her do it and just go through the piles and piles of vinyl that they had and look at the CD cart of all the new releases of all the records that were actually really hard to find at the time in Akron. Like, if you wanted to know what was happening with music, the college radio station was the place to go. And I actually think it hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
I still think that even with Spotify, you're subjected to these algorithms that are trying to predict what you want to hear. But I think that radio actually provides the true randomness and true curation in a way that I personally like it a lot more than skimming through a playlist. I like having to sit through a 3.5-minute song and giving it more than 10 seconds. You know what I mean? I think a lot of good things that I find very important to me, at first I hated it. Like the first time I heard the Silver Jews, I bought Starlight Walker, their first album, because it was filed in the pavement section at a record store. And I bought it, and I didn't know what it was, and I hated it. I didn't get it at all. And my friend borrowed it and loved it and gave it back to me and said, you should reappraise this record. Spend some time with it. And I did, and it became one of my favorite bands.
That's perfect. Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's very expansive and diverse and adaptive. So to go off on that, how does it feel for you knowing that your music resonates with and represents all of college radio at the moment?
Well, I think it's that there's a lot of great music that is underappreciated that's currently being made. It feels incredible to be getting played on college radio still, and I feel like there are a lot of smaller bands that really get highlighted by college radio, and if maybe I feel like maybe we shouldn't be getting played too much on college radio because maybe the format is best suited for bands that really need more of a spotlight. But it's just my own Midwestern guilt.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand. We're happy to have you be the representatives for this year. So let's start talking about your album. So I have a question. After making music nonstop and touring for over a decade, you guys finally took a much-needed break. And when you came back a couple years later to record this new album, what was your focus in the making of it?
So we put our first album out in 2002. From that point on, we just basically went on tour and then made a record. I went on tour and made a record, and it was on our sixth album, Brothers, which came out in 2010, that we kind of accidentally made a hit record, and we started getting played on like mainstream radio and on alternative radio, and before you know it, like the record, sold like 1 million copies, and we got presented with all of these opportunities that we had never had before, like play Saturday Night Live and do all these things. And so it was after like 8 years of touring that we got all these opportunities. We had to say yes because we kind of subscribed to the idea that like you can't knock it till you try it. So like we would do stuff that was pretty dumb, like we played like the Spike Television Video Game Awards because it was offered to us, and someone at the label was like, "You should do it. It's important." We ended up saying yes to a lot of stuff that really wasn't important. And after our record El Camino and our following record Turn Blue all came out, we had this 5-year stretch of just working and touring and saying yes to everything. And we just kind of had to hit the brakes really hard. And we played a festival in 2015 in San Francisco called Outside Lands, and we after that we just didn't book anything.
Right.
We just went home, and we ended up taking a break that ended up turning into 4 years off the road. The first year flew by. The second year, I was aware that we probably should make some music, and by the third year, we got back in the studio, and it was like the most necessary break I think any band has ever had.
Yeah.
Because we kind of got off the gerbil wheel or whatever, and we're able to like really sit down and like center ourselves a little bit and like focus on making music. We did a lot of producing for other people
on
our own, and Dan made a solo record, and together I think our output, we worked on something like 20 albums in those 3 years off the road.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. And but when it was time, we knew it was time. We stayed in touch and we're texting each other, and we'd have dinner every once in a while. But we went back to the studio a year ago, and the understanding that we had with each other was just that we had to make sure that we were everything that we were going to do was going to be enjoyable for us. And if something seemed like a headache or potential embarrassment, like playing Good Morning America or something, we just were like, we're just going to say no. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we told our manager that we were just going to be saying no to a lot of stuff.
That's good.
And only do what we wanted to do. And I think that that's important, because the reason why we started the band was because it was fun and it was exciting and it was an adventure. And I think that we're grateful for like all the opportunities that we had in the last decade. But I think it's time for us to like just make sure it's still an adventure and it's still fun,
Of course, it's definitely an important thing to have, and I'm glad you guys took time to relax and reconvene yourselves. And you guys are going to be going on a North American tour in support of the new album. And so, how does it feel to get back on the road again?
It hasn't really set in. I'm just excited to play some shows, and I'm excited to be very loud.
Yeah. And so, my little ending question for you is if college radio could take any song request from you, like if you wanted to hear something to be playing on college radio right now, what would it be?
Well, that is like a really good question, because the question becomes like, do I play something old that I love, or do I play something new that is underappreciated? And I think college radio provides both things. So I want to play something new, though, because I think that's the most important thing. Let's see. What about play a Salted Caramel Ice Cream by Metronomy? That'd be the song I would pick.
Oh, good band. I like that. I like the way you think. Once again, the Black Keys are going on tour promoting their latest record, Let's Rock, starting in Las Vegas at the Light is Beautiful Festival September 21st and ending up in Vancouver at Rogers Arena on November 21st. Pat and Dan are the ambassadors of College Radio Day 2019. I want to personally thank you on behalf of all college stations across the world. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with me, and thank you for making the music that has given me great joy and comfort throughout the years.
Thank you, man. Well, hey, it's been great talking to you, man. Dan and I are proud to be the ambassadors of College Radio Day. And if you ever need a guest playlist, hit me up.
Hi, I'm Lance Ligas, president of College Radio Day. Thanks for joining with over 450 stations worldwide to celebrate our unique medium. Our task force has been working hard the last several months to bring you content and support. We have discounts on broadcast tools to help with that ever-shrinking budget, plus our U.S. stations who sign up can apply for grants to fix a broken board or perhaps get a new one. No other student media organization does this. As you go through the day, we'd appreciate tagging us on @College Radio Day on social media, but also tag your school so campus administrators can see that you're part of a larger collective, not just confined to any one town or state. A united effort like this shows our worth, our reach, and a spirit that is unmatched. So enjoy the day, whether it's for a few hours or an all-day marathon. And as our 9th annual celebration comes to a close, know that the work doesn't end for us or you. Keep fighting, keep producing, and long live College Radio.
The College Radio Foundation, organizers of World College Radio Day and College Radio, are grateful for the generosity of this year's official sponsors who support the mission and importance of college radio. Airtime, Source Fabric, BMI, Brave New Radio, Broadcasters General Store, Button Punks, Comrex, Eclipse Records, Emissions Analytics, Hindenburg Systems, Jaeger Lumber, Live 365, Real World, Spinitron, Telos Alliance, UTA Radio, WinOMT Software, WMSC, WSOU, and WZRD. This special radio program has been created for World College Radio Day 2019. The producer has been Rob Quick, and I've been your host, Len O'Kelly. For more information about World College Radio Day and the important work that the College Radio Foundation does, please visit collegeradio.org. And long live College Radio.
Estás escuchando el Día Mundial de la Radio Universitaria.
Alrededor del mundo, en 27 países, más de 450 radios universitarias se unen para celebrar la contribución de los estudiantes al mundo de las comunicaciones. Mi nombre es Anabela Polan y soy la vicepresidente del Día Mundial de la Radio Universitaria y también su anfitriona por esta hora con entrevistas hechas por estudiantes con artistas del mundo de la música en español. En esta celebración de una hora, compartimos con ustedes entrevistas exclusivas con el legendario dúo colombiano Aterciopelados, galardonada cantautora y actriz Mon Laferte de Chile, la famosa rapera y cantante de hip hop española La Mala Rodríguez, reina del hip hop chileno Ana Tijoux, cantante y compositora argentina Silvina Moreno, y cantautor, actor, médico, salvavidas, músico y compositor uruguayo Jorge Drexler.
Good morning, everybody. This is DJ Riff Raff coming to you live from the Long Beach City College campus, the Liberal Arts campus in Long Beach. We are radio stations KLBC AM 1610 and KCTY The City, 107.7 FM. Today is College Radio Day. We're giving a tribute to our old buddy Ken Borgers. Say hi to Ken down in San Diego. And now let's get started with our program here at LBCC. First, a word from our sponsor, Sweet Lou's Barbecue.
You're listening to Turn Radio. KLBC AM 1610. KCTY 107.7 FM. Long Beach's own Turn Radio. The truly underground radio network. The first in college radio. The best in college radio.
Have a cookout, but things are looking blue? Have an event, but the food situation is on the down low? Then call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue, the best rack on wheels. Sweet Lou's lets you plan your party or event while he takes care of the food. Packaged with all you need. Talk to Sweet Lou, he'll take care of you. Special events, fundraisers, corporate parties, private parties, weddings, and more. Call up Sweet Lou and mention Little Son Elif from KLBC's The Same Old Blues Show. For the best ribs, briskets, and beans on 4 wheels, call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue. Call him any place, anytime at 323-213-1632 or at 714-891-7959. Remember, Sweet Lou loves you, and everything's gonna be all right.
I hope the exit is joyful, and I hope never to come back. Frida Kahlo, July 1954, Coyoacán, México.
Yo ya me voy al puerto donde se halla la barca de oro que debe conducirme. Yo ya me voy, solo vengo a despedirme. Adiós, mujer, adiós para siempre, adiós. No volverán tus ojos a mirarme, ni tus oídos escucharán mi canto. Voy a aumentar los mares con mi llanto. Adiós, mujer, adiós para siempre, adiós.
I want to fly. I want to fly up to the highest and undertake my flight to the infinite. I want to fly like the falcons and undertake the flight to reach your soul. To be in peace.
All right. Welcome to College Radio Day here at Long Beach City College. I'm your host, well, one of the 3 hosts for today, Robert Little Son Elif, and we just heard La Barca de Oro from Gloria Arjona's latest album, Frida Kahlo, Tree of Hope. And in the studio with me, of course, is Gloria herself. Gloria, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Thank you to all the crowd of LBCC for doing this amazing event, and thank you for the invitation.
Now, this album that we started off with, it's an incredible album, just off the first song alone. Where did the inspiration to write an album about Frida Kahlo begin?
Okay, well, as many of the listeners know, Frida Kahlo is not only a Mexican icon, but a universal icon. Many people identify with her as a minority, as a woman, as a feminist, as a person with who had physical limitations, because Frida Kahlo, during her short life, she only lived 47 years. She had more than 30 surgeries, and still she was so prolific in her paintings. So what I found in some of her paintings is that she actually is quoting traditional Mexican music. So I found that amazing. So that album specifically, which is called Frida Kahlo Tree of Hope, was to honor and to give voice to those songs that Frida quoted in her visual art.
And along with Frida's story, do you also include any narrative around her relationship with Diego at all?
Yes, of course, because it was Diego, when Frida married Diego Rivera, he was the most important artist not only of Mexico but of Latin America, okay? So you cannot avoid talking about Diego Rivera. But specifically in this album, I wanted to concentrate more, even if I was tempted to talk about their chaotic relationship and so passionate, so full of love and also of mistreatment of one to the other, each other. They hurt a lot. But they also admire each one as an artist. And of course, I mentioned Diego, but I definitely focus on Frida's life and Frida's art.
And aside from the songwriting and focusing on Frida and her prolific art telling, the storytelling in her art, what was the process like putting the CD together as far as the recording and all of that?
Oh, well, when you have the inspiration and when you have an idea, all the albums that I have depart from an academic research. So I am, before anything, an academic researcher. So it was kind of easy to put the theory, because I had it. So it was kind of in a matter of 1 week. Okay, I decided, which are the more representative songs. Because I classify the songs in this album in 2 kinds of songs. When Frida died, people loved her so much, not as an artist, but as a person, because she was not very popular. She was the shadow of Diego Rivera in a way. But they loved her because she had this great heart and compassion for everybody. So they started to sing. So those are the things, the song that you just heard, La Barca de Oro, which means the golden ship, is a farewell song. When somebody dies or when somebody leaves and we are not going to see that person, we sing that sad song, okay? So that was one of the songs that in 1954, when Frida Kahlo died, people started to sing to her.
And kind of stepping away from the album, where did how did you get into guitar playing?
The guitar playing, well, I even though I was born in El Paso, Texas, I grew up in Mexico City, and I believe that in Latin America it's kind of common that anybody you are partying in a gathering, we start singing. Singing is part of our life. I mean, singing is free. Mm-hmm. It's cheap. Okay, it's free. So you just need a guitar. So it's very common to learn from looking at their brothers or friends and grab the guitar and start playing those songs, because the songs that I play are very, very easy to accompany.
Who were some of your big influences growing up when you heard guitar playing?
Guitar play. Well, since I don't consider myself a guitar player, it's like when I was younger, I studied classical guitar, and of course, big influences were Andrés Segovia, all those Spanish classical guitars. But at some point, I didn't continue doing that. Okay, so if you listen to my guitar, you won't see any of those. but of course, my admiration always to Andrés Segovia, Manuel de Falla, to the Brazilians, Heitor Villalobos, all those composers from the early 20th century that took the guitar for the first time as an orchestra instrument. So I always admire those guitar players.
Do you always focus your songwriting based on Hispanic culture and telling the story of Mexico and those areas?
As a soloist, yes, because I cannot do anything else. Because I also have a Brazilian band. I am part of a Brazilian band. I would not even try to play in the guitar Brazilian music, but I sing bossa nova. So as a soloist, yes, I devote mainly to the culture I know, which is Mexico.
It's almost like keeping that tradition and keeping that story and legacy of Mexican culture or just Hispanic culture in general alive.
Yes, talking about that on Monday at East Los Angeles Library, I will give a lecture. I call my presentations, I call them multimedia lectures because I use PowerPoint, I use guitar playing, I use music, but mainly I use history to tell the context of these stories, and I will giving a lecture on Alta California, which if you and the listeners know, Alta California was not only California, but was Nevada, Colorado, parts of Colorado, Arizona, before the war between Mexico and the United States in 1846-48, and I will be presenting some of the songs that were part of that period of time, 19th century, 18th century songs.
Well, I see you had brought a really beautiful Ibanez guitar. Would you mind playing something for us?
Of course. Of course, I don't mind. I will play. And yes, thank you very much.
Don't mind if we get excited.
No, well, as I say before, I have to say a disclaimer, okay? It's too early to sing. It's too early. No, this song that I want to play, to share with you, is a song from Oaxaca, from the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, which is the narrowest part in Mexico. If you recall the map of Mexico, the narrowest part, Tehuantepec, Oaxaca. And this song has a strong African influence. And I always highlight that because in Mexico, unfortunately, we forget that we have a strong African heritage and we don't pay tribute to that. And within my limits, I always try to include those songs. So this is a song that does not have a single author, but belongs to a community and has been around since the 17th century, and it's called La Bruja, the witch. And let me tell you a little bit. It doesn't talk about any witch, evil witch, like the Halloween. No, it's a witch that is very flirting with the person that is singing. And at the end, she ends up seducing him, okay? I will do it in Spanish and in Zapotec, which is one of the languages of Oaxaca. A la bruja me encontré, en el aire iba volando, que en el aire iba volando. A la bruja me encontré, ay mamá, entonces le pregunté que a quién andaba buscando. Me dijo, ¿quién es usted? Ay, mijo, soy cantador de Huapango. Me agarra la bruja, me lleva a su casa, me vuelve maceta y una calabaza. Escóndete, Juana, escóndete, Chepa, que allá anda la bruja bajo la ventana. Oraciones a Chequico, Villa hágalo a ti, Villa, Villa hágalo a ti, Villa. Oraciones
sa chekiku ba te gudo bebijidu gudo ti bijidu rarwa gudo ti bijidu rarwa ba te gudo bebijidu masenda vija shine benagigu kagite bena kuni benami pikachi lubado pikachi masenda villa masenda ripapa ay dígame usted cuántas criaturitas se ha chupado usted ninguna no ve que ando en pretensiones de chuparlo a usted.
Wow, really amazing. Who are some Hispanic stars that you're listening to now, and are you gaining any influence from their sound?
Yes. Well, the most music that I listen is Brazilian music. I admire a lot the female Brazilian singers, and of course, you get from all the great singers. So what I have gained from Elis Regina, I have learned to be myself. Of course, I will never sing like them, but I have learned from them that they are themselves, and that's what people appreciate, that you are genuine. And of Mexican singers, I admire, of course, Lila Downs, Eugenia León, these great singers that have developed not only great technique, but a way of telling stories and songs.
Where can people find not only where you're playing at next, but where can people find your music at?
My music is in all the all the possible ways of digital music, like Amazon, CD Baby. You just have to look for Gloria Arjona, Arjona, CD Baby, Amazon, you name them. There are so many that I don't even know, but I know it's there.
Where can people find? Where can people see you next?
Okay, if you go to my page in Gloria Arjona, because I have my profile, that is I devote that more for the Brazilian and jazz stuff, and then I have a page under my name, Gloria Arjona, Arjona, and then I post over there all my presentations that are mainly, as I said before, free and in the libraries and colleges.
Well, Gloria, I want to thank you for coming in and helping us not only present your amazing music, but for also helping us celebrate one of our big mentors, Ken Borgers, here today. Do you have another song in mind for us?
Okay, I will. I will end my intervention here with a song from the Mexican Revolution. Because the Mexican Revolution, the 1910 Mexican Revolution, had a big influence not only in Mexico but also in the United States. So this is a song about a girl that for the first time has the power to drink whatever she wants. And she doesn't want to drink tequila or mezcal. She wants to drink cognac or any imported drinks. Okay, so La Joaquinita. Joaquinita, pulsaremos esta lira y entonaremos si te place una canción. Dame un abrazo y un besito, prenda mía, ya nos veremos a la entrada del cañón. Los maquinistas muchas veces se emborrachan en la cantina más bonita de Torreón. Y Joaquinita se pasea de mesa en mesa y muy alegre va animando la ocasión. Joaquinita se pasea de mesa en mesa y muy alegre va animando la ocasión. Yo tomaría con ustedes una copa, pero no bebo ni tequila ni mezcal. Yo lo que quiero son licores de la Francia, como el champán y su finísimo coñac. Que traigan todo lo que pide Joaquinita,
que muy contentos vamos todos a brindar con los licores traídos de la Francia, como el champagne y su finísimo coñac. Con los licores traídos de la Francia, como el champagne y su finísimo coñac. Si Joaquinita quisiera ser mi esposa, yo la amaría con todo mi corazón. Si Joaquinita quisiera ser mi esposa, la llevaría de paseo al Nueva York. Ya nos casamos, mi querida Joaquinita, en la capilla más bonita de Torreón. Lo que nos falta, mi querida Joaquinita, que nos vayamos de paseo al Nueva York. Lo que nos falta, mi querida Joaquinita, que nos vayamos de paseo al Nueva York.
Wow, really amazing. Gloria Arjona, thank you once again for coming in and sharing such amazing music with us. Anything you'd like to say to the listeners before we let you go?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Robert, and all the fabulous team of LBCC for doing this, for giving the artists, the local artists, because I am a Long Beach resident, this opportunity. Thank you very much.
And you can find Gloria's music on Amazon, CD Baby, all various streaming platforms. Of course, she's got the Frida Kahlo Tree of Hope album and the Five Sons of Mexico. And are these the only two CDs you have?
No, I have more, but those are the ones that I love because they tell stories, a lot of stories that I know that many people like you want to listen to.
And once again, they can find you on Facebook on both of your pages,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
Gloria, once again, thank you. And thank you to everyone that is tuning in to KLBC and KCTY right now for College Radio Day, because we are honoring Ken Borgers, who was a professor here for over 40 years. Of course, he's not in the building with us, but we're hoping to get an interview with him at some point today. And my good friend Mark Nunez, you want to come over here for a second?
So they see you.
Anything you want to say, man, before we get on out of here?
No, I enjoy that so much, especially my family being from Mexico, and I'm sure my mom and dad would love this type of music.
Well, take her to the library, okay? And for you too, because not only if you are from Mexican heritage, but it's good to know our history, our important traditions and storytellers.
And which library is it?
It's Los Angeles.
Los Angeles
Library. Great library, great people there supporting cultural programs. Okay. 7 p.m.
All right. Well, we're gonna close out this first segment of College Radio Day with one from the Tree of Hope album and Frida's Death, right here on Turn Radio's KLBC.org, the truly underground radio network.
From June to September, it rains almost every single day. And
Thank you.
When Frida Kahlo was born on July 6, 1907, and it was raining when she died on July 13, 1954. The previous afternoon, after sleeping straight for 2 days, Frida was lucid and in a good mood. She asked to see her beloved Diego, who now spent most of his time in his studio of San Angel, not too far from Frida's Casa Azul in Coyoacán. When Diego arrived to La Casa Azul, Frida anticipated his gift for their 25th wedding anniversary next August, a silver ring. The next morning she died. The cause of her death was officially reported as pulmonary embolism, but Cornelia Mayet, her nurse, thought it was an overdose, since she noticed there were missing 4 pills more than her regular dosage for the pain. Since July of the previous year, when her right leg was amputated because of gangrene, Frida was frequently depressed and in a lot of pain. She wrote in her journal that it was only her love for Diego that stopped her from committing suicide, and she actually tried it a few months before. It's a sad morning at La Casa Azul. With the help of Ruth Rivera, Diego's younger daughter, Pita Amor, the poet, and Lola Alvarez Bravo, the photographer, the nurse dresses Frida with one of her beautiful Mexican outfits. The women also do Frida's hair in her habitual braid. Frida looks beautiful, as always, as she did when she was alive, and as she did in all her self-portraits and in the many pictures taken by famous photographers. Edward Weston, Tina Modotti, Lola Alvarez Bravo, Nicholas Murray, Giselle Front, and her own father, Guillermo Calo, and many, many others. But this morning, Frida's face is more quiet than usual and peaceful. She is not in pain anymore. Lupe Marin, Diego's former wife, is also in the room. Although being abandoned by Diego when he married Frida, she and Frida got along well. In fact, it was Lupe the one who taught Frida how to cook Diego's favorite dishes: chiles rellenos, romeritos, fried black beans paired with fresh cheese. Aurora Reyes, the muralist, is also in the room. And of course, Frida's younger sister, Cristina, who despite the suffering she caused to her sister when she became Diego's lover, she was Frida's eternal companion. Diego is also at La Casa Azul, but he's locked in another room. He refuses to see or talk to anyone. He is extremely sad and old. In a wink, Diego has become an old man.
You're listening to Turn Radio. KLBC AM 1610. KCTY 107.7 FM. Long Beach's own Turn Radio. The truly underground radio network. The first in college radio. The best in college radio.
Have a cookout, but things are looking blue? Have an event, but the food situation is on the down low? Then call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue, the best rack on wheels. Sweet Lou's lets you plan your party or event while he takes care of the food. Packaged with all you need. Talk to Sweet Lou, he'll take care of you. Special events, fundraisers, corporate parties, private parties, weddings, and more. Call up Sweet Lou and mention Little Son Elif from KLBC's The Same Old Blues Show. For the best ribs, briskets, and beans on 4 wheels, call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue. Call him any place, anytime at 323-213-1632 or at 714-891-7959. Remember, Sweet Lou loves you and everything's gonna be alright.
Lonnie Dangerous. For the kids. The kids.
I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. I'm blue, but still trying to blow one. Only came in the game to blow up. All these doll babies and nothing or see through. Trying to talk my head off while my mind's all on yo. But now that I'm a star, they'll do anything I wanna. Like playing Anaconda, giving me an anaconda, holding an anaconda. And if you do, I'll tell you I'm special to you. Sending me naked pics and pics, loving the devil in you. Got me butt naked with you, getting it with you. In the back of the car, rocking it, filling it up, unleaded with you. Going hard in the paint, almost starting to fade. Grandmas and cougars might be Cosby my drink. I would say I love you, but that might be just to get laid. It's just lies. I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. I'm off the effing. When I step in, I'm an effing weapon. On smash, smashing way up like it's the heavens. Big clouds, better quality chicks. Now it's a profession. I'm Daddy Maury, no testing for body, for sexing. Pussy be that good, I wanna bust it. She told me she bring chicks, I'm like, oh yesin'. Wanna stare at me every day, but I'm busy bringing checks in. Real talk, my baby really loves me. And I love being knee deep. Every time I nut, I love how she sucks me. Off top, wanna bubble, relax, dark and lovely. And I be Roxanne, that old sad song sung by police. Shot in the streets, tell my mama I'm a drug fiend, but I want free. Not 134 years for amphetamines will lead me to die. I survive. I've been here before so many times. The man in so many lives. See that Chico? It's all in the eyes. Whatever they think is big, do it twice that size. Billie Jean, I'm not your love. That kid's not mine. I told you 1,013 times. I stick and move like pretty boy Floyd in his prime. I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba.
Welcome everybody to College Radio. This is DJ Shark right here on KLBC. And I am here today with a special guest for this lovely College Radio Day. We got Lonnie Danger here in the house.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
And then we also got DJ.
DJ, please don't bite it in the house. KLBC,
please
shouts
don't
out.
bite it in the house.
KLBC.org. The number to call is 562-938-4800. College Radio Day. Please support. Thank you for all the support. Blessings to all.
We're here doing a little tribute to our gone now professor who was 40 years in the game here
40 years.
at KLBC, and he is here with us in spirit because he's been here for so long. It's
Yes,
like he helped run this place.
Okay, wait, can I just
Mr.
interject?
What's
He's still alive though, right?
He is.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
You know, he's just
I got
in
this
San
feeling
Diego.
that we're saying goodbye to someone.
He's been here so long, and now he's gone.
Okay,
It's kind of
all
like we're just like, trying to keep this place floating and trying to keep pumping out stuff for him.
Respect.
So Lonnie, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you from the area?
My name is Lonnie Dangerous. I was born in Philadelphia. I grew up all over the United States. I spent a lot of time in Alaska, and then I've been living in Los Angeles since 2000.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, Los Angeles. I mean, this is kind of like where you get out to kind of get a name and all that.
This is the greatest place on the planet Earth. Can I say that, number one?
Sure,
and the best women in the whole world, too.
Hey, now.
It's just the top of the line. The West is the best. Even when I was a little kid, I just dreamed, I just want to be on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks. I love
Weather,
it. Palm trees, beautiful weather. I was thinking the other day, it has so many things. Like, you have Hollywood, but then you also have, homeless people. You have gangsters. You have models. It just has everything. Transsexuals.
The good and the bad.
You know what I mean?
A bit of everything. Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about let's just start out because we just heard a track from your new album.
Okay.
Just tell us a little bit about your influences, what made you want to come out to LA, to do music, and not only music.
What inspired you really to what are some of your inspirations
I'll say that there was a time in maybe like 2011 that I lost everything. My family left me. I was all by myself, and I was down in the lowest part of my life. And I had a girlfriend, and she passed away from cancer. So I really just felt like I was down, and I started thinking about the rest of my life. And I didn't want to live the rest of my life not doing the things that I always dreamed of doing. And even if I didn't do them, I wanted to be working on doing them if I wasn't doing anything, because I seen people lose their lives, and I didn't want to do those things I don't want to die without living the full dream, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So in 2012, I said, I want to be a platinum artist, I want to be a blockbuster movie star, and I like to sell out a comedy show. So I just got on working. How do you achieve those goals? And I just step by step have been working on the music. But as a kid, I used to listen to Snoop, the whole Dog Pound. That's why I said I'm blessed to be my music being played in Long Beach, because this is what I always wanted my whole life. I made it. Thank you, Mama.
KLBC got you.
Oh my gosh, Snoop, the Dog Pound Corrupt is from Philadelphia too, so he was like a big inspiration to me too. And I was thinking, like, if a lyricist from Philadelphia could come out to the West Coast and get those West beats, it would probably be something that would be very entertaining. So I've been totally gassed up by Long Beach music since day one. So that's a big inspiration for me.
Nice. So you also said that you're you're a writer as well?
Yeah.
Both music and comedy, and then an actor as well.
Yes.
So if you can tell us, how did you get into acting? If you're producing or you're making music.
Yeah, I was thinking that I don't think it's like a big stretch, because some of my writing, and if you're a rapper, sometimes even a rapper is putting on a character. He's doing himself, but he's blowing himself up a little bit bigger than who he really is. So you're kind of putting on a character already. But when I was still watching movies, I wanted to be in Men's Society. I wanted to be in Boys in the Hood. I wanted to be in these movies, you know what I mean? And when I was in the streets, all my homies, and we're doing all this, that was the life while you're living the life, you're watching movies. And those movies, that's what I wanted to do. So when I got out here, I know that this life, I can be an actor. I can be a vessel to tell stories. I'm a storyteller, so I just think it's another aspect of telling stories.
One thing we were talking about before we got on air was how you just have to be versatile in this day and age.
Yeah. I was thinking that if you're doing one thing, you're probably, you should really do it really well, because everyone's doing 5 or 6, 7 things. If you're not doing a multitude of things, then you're really probably lacking, because there's so many avenues that you can connect. And even when you get on, you see 50 Cent, he's doing Vital Water, he's doing Power. When you get on, there's so many different opportunities that are open to you. So the more you stay open, the more things that could come to you.
Yes, that is true.
Nice. So you have a new upcoming role, or you're casted on a show. Or a movie, sorry. It's called Silence.
Yeah.
You can tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, honestly, like I told you guys earlier, that it's weird, because since I've been here in Hollywood, I only get I was worried when I first came, I don't want to play no slave role, and I don't want to play no thug role. I want to play dignified roles. But since I've been here, I only get dignified roles like pastors and preachers and dads and stuff like that. So this was the first one that came across that I'm like a regular dude in the movie, and I'm about to have a house party, and I got ladies, and it's popping. So that was so cool to play like a regular dude.
Yeah.
And it's coming out. I think it's coming out next month. But if you ever get a chance, Silence, it's real cool.
Y'all stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
Silence is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Coming out. Cool.
Yeah,
dude.
the guy, he's a it's about a guy who he has a great life, but then he has a lot of temptation, and my partying and hanging out is one of the temptations in his life. And he has choices. Do you want to take that road, or do you want to go home to your wife and kid?
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's great.
That's cool. I noticed another thing too is kind of like that role as kind of like the influencer, but you're also teamed up with the organization Beads of Courage.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, when I first started with them, I have a friend who was a nurse, and I think that as a nurse, she would take care of kids that were dealing with cancer. And I think it bothered her that these kids were going to chemotherapy every day, and it was just a job to the kids. They weren't getting a big deal out of them. So every day you have to take like different shots. You have to take different process through the cancer. Yeah. So she thought it was a great idea to everything that the kid did, we would give them a bead. Like, this is a bead of courage. This is a bead for. So as you go through the process, you're a survivor, and these are these are the symbols of you surviving. So it became like an organization where they expanded into other kids with all kind of illnesses. And I really was totally into helping kids. Lonnie loves the kids. And I wrote a song for him. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to do, but that's the only thing I could do. And she's a friend of mine. She asked me, could I offer any help? So I decided to write a song for him. And it's Beads of Courage. If you ever look them up, please look them up. Then give to it. It's a nonprofit organization, but they do help kids that are suffering from all kind of illnesses. It's a great organization.
That's a beautiful
you said
thing.
You have a song that you made for him?
Yeah, Beads of Courage.
Beads of Courage. That's the name of the song?
Yeah.
Is it on this album?
No, because I didn't want to make any money off of it.
Okay.
I think I have it on SoundCloud, but I wanted it to be for them, so I didn't want to, cloud up the good gesture that I wanted to do.
That's beautiful.
That's right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the album.
Oh my God, I'm glad you asked about that. Okay, my album is called Ambitions of a Writer. I brought some flyers too, but I left them in my car. I apologize.
I know this is a little play on words from
Ambitions as a writer. When I first wanted to do it, I wanted to be how Tupac came out of jail when he did the All Eyes on Me album. Yeah. Everyone was like really like on him, and I thought that that's how I want to write my life into that space where from nothing to changing the whole world wants to know what you're going to do next. So I want to have my art to be looked at like Pac's, I wanted to help people. And it was a double album, so I wanted to do something like that. So I did 2 mixtapes, and I'm going to do an album to go with it, so it's like 3 parts of it. Oh, wow. So right now there's one version out that's hosted by DJ Noise. He's Chingy's DJ.
Shout out.
Yeah, so he's good. That was the first one. And then the second one, I live up in the valley, and there's a hip-hop culture out there. So I got a DJ, one of the hottest DJs that's from my neighborhood. Nice. And I had him do the second one, and it's hosted by DJ Exquisite.
Shout out.
So part 1 is hosted by DJ Noise. That's on, you can get that, that's free. That's on all the mixtape venues. But the second one, that's everywhere too. You can get on Spotify, iTunes, and everything. And part 2, it's rocking right now. We have Black Mamba. I just had This Is Me, and I'm about to work on the 3rd single. It's a parody of Usher's Yeah. So, and where I talk about how really it's not Usher who did those girls wrong. It's really I did it, and I made the girls tell people that it was Usher. So it's called I Did It. So I'm working on that next. I got a video for Black Mamba. Nice. But right now it's doing great. Yeah. You said you liked it, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, congratulations on that, man. Indeed, proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Also, another thing is you're on OTH.
Yeah, Overtime Hustling magazine. I was on the cover of, I think I have one more. It's quarterly, so I had July's version, July's edition. So I think it's still currently the cover of Overtime Hustling. But that's a New York magazine, you know what I mean? Right. So I like that a West Coast artist is on there representing,
But then you're also on the other side, on the east side of things, the magazine.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because I hope to be a worldwide artist. I want to be huge, and as far as it can reach, that's my goal. So it's nice that I remember when I was little, there was a hard time for MC Hammer to play over in New York, and now like I'm just getting down in Long Beach, and now I'm in New York. So
hey man, we're glad to have you out here.
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Shout
Well,
out.
let's play another track.
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
The next one's "This Is Me." This is the second one. This is the
second one.
Yeah, "This
All
Is
right,
Me."
Cool. We'll play that right now.
Yeah.
This is me, Lonnie Dangerous, right here on KLBC.
Yes, sir.
Live it to the limit every minute. Okay. Ladies, we party, give up. Never. And I only play to win. And I am the one. And this is me. 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 This is me, trillionaire chasing, mastering chains, constantly slaving. Fall off artists ain't no need saving. Got a shorty addicted, she say it's amazing. She do things to me that I shouldn't be saying, but she bisexual, young my age, trying to own a few compounds that's gated, with 3 sister wives doing whatever naked, trying to grind until the grind can't take it. This is me and you ain't the same. This is me and all that other ain't it. I am it. Why you want that hood fame lame? Cause I'm dark matter, as I spark chatter. Sonic booms and crashes spitting art at 'em. Jaws are still the Wolverine growling bark at 'em. They ask Hussein, tell 'em dark sat 'em. Obama terrorists with drones, die grab 'em. All I wanna do is live forever. Live it to the limit every minute. Ladies, we party, give up. Never, and I only play to win, and I am the one, and this is me, 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 this is me. The sun don't compete with other stars, it just shine while others twinkle in the dark. All alone, I tear this mother apart. I smile cause I'm Tonka tough from jump start. Like Pac, I'm tough to love, but I love hard. Ain't never gonna be enough money, my goals large. Cause I'm a comedian, you think it's a joke, it's the cold part. I'm doing movie soundtrack, a young go hard goes hard. Making my own clothes unless they paying chocolate is so dark. Creating a foundation, a global growth part. Started with just a tip and even then I wanted to go far. I put my name in it, give it my all, my own art. All I see is gonna do, wanna do, never do. Hating on me cause their dreams already do. Busy building my empire, what it do? On set of music videos, lead role, who are these dudes? This is some. All I wanna do is live forever. Live it to the limit every minute. Ladies, we party, give never, and I only play to win. And I am the one. And this is me. 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 This is me.
All right, that was "This Is Me"
This
from
is me.
Lonnie
It is me.
Dangerous'
This is me.
new
It is
album,
me. It is-
"Ambitious as a Writer."
Check it out.
Right, this is me. It was me though.
Yeah, sick. So, you're telling us how you kind of seen like rappers over here, and kind of like the West Coast. Do you ever like work with anybody? Is there anybody maybe you kind of like want to work with?
Are you kidding me? There's a lot of people that I want to work with. Yeah, and
but I mean, maybe narrow it down. For
yeah,
us.
well, we're on the West Coast, so and there's people right now that I'm still trying to finesse, because I know Sir Jinx, and I would love to work with Sir Jinx. I would love to work with Cube. I would love to work with Dre. I would love to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Warren G. That's why I said there was a big Long Beach movement. What was that, like 2000? Like
in between like really 2000 and 2003, around that time.
Like for like a long time, they were just reigning, and that was a very influential time in my life. And I think that I'm one of those like harmonic rappers, and that was the Long Beach thing at the time too. You know, Nate Dogg too, like a huge big influence. So I would love to work with anybody that's out here. Even some of the lower ones. I work with Glass and Malone. Glass and Malone's nasty. So is
whoever you can get out there and network
anybody,
with, man. That's what it's about. It's about
because
networking.
I feel like this hip hop is my family. So I would work with anyone who's serious about really doing music and anything that can better the art form. It's like two karate dudes, like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, going against each other. You know, it's gonna better both of us. So I'm with that. Yeah.
Dope. So aside from let's go back to the comedy.
Okay.
Do you write?
Yes.
You have any of your own material?
Yes.
Like, do you do stand up? Is it like comedy sketches?
Yes. As a matter of fact, that Ford Mustang has a commercial where they took me to talk about my music, and then they threw me on a stage opening for Dave Chappelle in front of all these people. I had no idea. I had no jokes and nothing written, you know what I mean? And they filmed it for the commercial. Yeah.
Sweet Lou's Barbecue.
Oh my gosh. And it was in San Francisco. So that was my first time ever performing, and people laughed. And then after that, when I came back from there, I got gassed up. Like, I couldn't believe that. Before I started that, I thought that, man, I don't want to get on stage and people be booing me and throwing stuff at me. You know, get on stage, you heard? And, no offense. But after that, I just started going to the comedy clubs and just hitting it up. But I've also worked, people don't like to talk about it now, but I worked for Russell Simmons All Deaf Digital, where they used to do skits, like constantly, like doing all. So I worked for them for a long time too. So I've been doing comedy for a minute, and I've done TV shows and Tattoo Nightmares, all kind of comedy shows. Yeah.
And so compared to the music, like which one have you been doing longer?
Oh, music, because I'm in the neighborhood, and well, that's hard too, because in the neighborhood you always cracking jokes too. So I guess it wouldn't be the same thing. But in the neighborhood, unless you say you're a comedian, you could get. Some people would take jokes personally and you have problems. So I say I started off doing music. But yeah, even when I was a kid, the dozens and cracking jokes, your mama jokes, people would. There was a time when people would make mama jokes and I didn't have nothing to say. So then my mom would tell me things to say. And after a while, I would add things to that because I didn't want people to bother me. So I thought I'd just say something really harsh so they'd leave me alone. But I got so good at it that they started bringing other people. Oh, I got somebody that you can't beat. So it became like a worse for me. You know what I mean? So like everywhere so like I have been doing comedy for a long time. Yeah, I'll eat somebody up if we get in a cracking battle. You know what I mean?
Have you ever tried stand up?
Yeah, no, I do stand up all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I in the Valley, I do the the Comedy Store. I've done a lot of them. Yeah, I've been working on the music, but every year I try to take a year off and do a different venue. Like first year I'll do music, then the second year I'll do acting, then the third year I'll just strictly work on comedy. So I'm back to doing the music this year, so I'm gonna work on the album. But I just finished doing comedy for a minute. Yeah.
That's good, keeping everything in rotation. That's all you gotta do.
It's
keep yourself busy.
Though. And if someone calls for money, like now I'm doing music, if somebody calls for comedy, I can't say no. I still gotta, you know what I mean?
Still gotta do it.
No, I'm doing music now.
I'm your business.
Because you see some people kind of like, they start out doing music and then later on in their career they kind of transition to like maybe writing comedy. Or they do it the opposite way, where they're comedy and then later on they do music.
When I started, I wanted to say that I always seen that too. Like either they're good at an actor and then they're not great at music. Like Eddie Murphy's a great comedian, but his music's just okay. You know what I mean?
Because of Rick James.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Party all the time, party all the time.
That one song was
you know what I'm saying? I mean, he had his
it was Rick though. Rick did that.
Yeah.
So when I first came out, I wanted to make sure that if I'm gonna do this, I want to be able to. If you took the other two away, that art should be able to stand on its own. I should be a good rapper. I should be able to say that I'm a good actor regardless. If you see my acting, it should be solid. My comedy should be solid. All three should be solid. I don't want to just, he's great, you know what I mean? So I've been working to like make sure that these things are very tone tight, you know what I mean? Yes.
And then, so you've been, doing stand-up.
Yes.
You said you had some work, with like Ford and all that.
Yeah.
Do you have maybe like anywhere the listeners can like find your comedy, or is it just kind of like?
First of all, follow me, Lonnie Dangerous, on everything, on Spotify and all that. But on IG, I do comedy bits. On YouTube, I have a page. It's under Lonnie Council, but COUNCIL. But both of those venues, and my Facebook page, I'm constantly doing comedy. So check me out for all. I'm constantly doing all three. So check me out.
Dope.
I stay on it.
And then same for the music. Catch you on all
and check out the album Ambitions as a Writer Part 2. If you want to check out Part 1 and 2, that was a good one too. But check out Part 2 right now. It's on Spotify, iTunes, CD Baby, Rhapsody, anything you got venue that has music on it.
All right, dope. Well, we got a little. You say you got a little instrumental for us.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Do you mind spinning a little flow for us?
No problem.
Drop
what track
something.
is it?
I think it's
KLBC, ladies and gentlemen, College Radio Day. Shouts out to Sweet Lou.
This one for me, please. And then
Sweet
you can do whatever you want. Sit down,
Barbecue.
stand up. But we got Lonnie Dangerous in the house.
Shouts out to Ken
You
Borges.
can put on the headphones if you want.
Big
but
Ken,
we got
we see
Lonnie
you, baby.
Dangerous in the house. He's about to spit a little flow for us. And this is off his. Is this on your album too? This instrumental?
Yes, it is. No, this isn't. This is for y'all. This is
for us. Special for KLBC, man.
Long Beach, my baby, on TV.
Mo, wave to everybody.
Hello, TV
That one. All right, this is Lonnie Dangerous right here. Yeah, I get it. All right, here's Lonnie Dangerous. He's about to spit a little flow for us.
Yeah, okay. I'm feeling this. All right. It goes like this. Lonnie Dangerous, the brand and the name, the man in the brand name, Monstar in the Hollywood Hills, the game, I'm an all-star. The sun, there's other stars, but I'm life, man, highly aggressive, relentless, about hits, watch my damn aim. Champion, it's gotta be in you, not on you, the new Denzel for you. Winning awards for starring in music videos of bands I ain't never heard of. Lonnie Dangerous, I changed the mangiest to the nameless. How can I say suck it from the back in different languages? I'm the show, that's it, from LA to anywhere the sun touches, even right there, the elusive Wolverine. I usually outmove a team, trying to rule it and rule the scene. Clowns move around through the scene before I lose it, and you lose your dream. Destructive hieroglyphics, smooth roughnecks, lyrics still. It's that dope, you gotta have it that real. Till I'm that trillionaire, I'm ill in there, still in there, real in there, ill in there. I'm the indie, but the real deal in it. Daddy's showing you how to do it, stand clear, it's my time. And I got a 25-year dynasty, so it's dangerous on everything. Shake my head. A brand name used to be the man on the couch. Broke life, Black Mamba is a champion now. Champion sound, in the valley riding around. All the birds that wouldn't let me smash. How about now? I'm on my big payback, so I'm in the back of the Maybach. I might paint your face like the Indians way back. Danger, a major without a major. The roughest smooth, legendary greatness. Lonnie Dangerous. What it do? Long Beach. Long Beach.
Mr. Dangerous in the house. Y'all already know. Check out that Ambitions as a Writer, man.
Off the top?
Check your boy out.
Off the top
I'm lethal.
You did.
Hey, man, I just want to say thank y'all for letting me come down. That was really love. I'm in Long Beach and I'm doing with the realest. Y'all did it.
Thank you for spinning a little freestyle for us.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, that
Highly
was dope.
appreciated.
Lonnie Dangerous, everybody. Get his album.
Yeah.
Ambitions as a writer.
Ambitions of a writer everywhere.
Everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere.
DJ Exquisite. Hosted by DJ Exquisite.
Shout out DJ Exquisite.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Thanks for having us, man. On this KLBC College Radio Day. Man, we're just... Oh, man, that was sick.
Yeah, and our freestyle got me like, man, like, hey, man. This is KLBC College Radio Day. College Radio Day. Check it out. Shouts out to Mr. Ken Borges. Shouts out to the whole staff and crew that's up here. Get it in. Make sure you check out Mr. Dangerous album, man, because he got some fire for you. Please believe it.
Spinning a little flow.
Long Beach.
Man, we're in Long Beach. All right, man. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for letting me come. That was so great.
Can you give us a little plug again where they can find
Lonnie
you?
Dangerous on everything. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Also, get the album Ambitions of a Writer. Part 1 is free. Part 2, you have to pay a little bit, but it's worth it because I put the work in.
That's right.
Lonnie Dangerous, Ambitions of a Writer. Thank you for Long Beach. Hey, man, if you guys ever want to come down to my hood, you're all welcome.
All right. I'll take that.
Sir.
Well, here's another little track from Lonnie Dangerous.
All in
We're gonna
it.
play a little bit from his new album.
Yeah.
To kind of transition. But we got him in the house. Check him out, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Baby, just look what you do to me. Hold on tight and groove with me. I'm all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it, all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it. Chocolate diamond, chocolate sands on Hilo. Birthstone earrings all black and blue like abused people. She's a small town girl, but oh, does she want it? My sexual seduction make her hard for her to function. I ain't made no plans, right now I just want it. Nasty spit on it and slide on it. She's my groove thing, that bang, we bang. My old jam, my slow grind, give her the whole 9. She don't trip when I do a feature, cause I got a rep. They know I got the heaters and a white beater. She know I need a witness. I love it when she call me daddy. God in it, but I stay in it. Nobody get it, quite like I get it. These clowns never get it, never get it. All scuba gear, going knee deep in it. Just like, baby, just look what you do to me. Hold on tight and groove with me. I'm all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it, all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it. Baby, just look what you do to me. Hold on tight and groove with me. I'm all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it, all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it. Baby doll rock with it, I knock and she let me in. I beat it like it owes me money again and again. And when she bouncing it back, squeezing it tight. Daddy long stroke, baby arm, daddy leaving them right. Like my dog Tag, she hanging dangle. Fresh to death like suede boomers and Kangol. Know I spit the slick that make her want daddy. But I'm easy like Sunday morning, so baby get at me. I'm all ready, paper chasing, you petty. I was rock bottom nothing, now I'm all in it heavy. Playing at a high level, Black Mamba, MVP. Dead broke, starving, vicious, mind start gon' eat. Trying to think something cool that Drake said. A power couple like Jay and Bay with some gray. And baby, just look what you do to me. Hold on tight and groove with me. I'm all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it, all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it. Baby, just look what you do to me. Hold on tight and groove with me. I'm all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it, all in it, I'm all in it, I'm all in it. She's swearing allegiance to me. From the gate up against the wall, giving her the shakes. I'm trying to be me, deep, that's all me. Steadily trying to reach that spot on me. He give me that good, let your love come down. That's right, baby. Give me your mind.
see through all of their lies. It's all a disguise. The whole world's hypnotized, and I won't let your laws in between my thighs. I will rise, no compromise, man, we're standing up. Yeah, they mad 'cause we got visions while we blazing up. And the thing that we want, we just paint it up. Yeah, we celebrating daily, baby, raise your cup. 'Cause they don't know what to do with a girl like me. Yeah, they lock them doors, but I don't need that key. Yeah, crazy wild bitch, man, but I was born free. And there ain't nothing you can do to ever fucking stop me. Like, yeah.
But I didn't know what today was. No one told me, so yeah, there's some bombs. But I know where they all are. You want to put me on the boards?
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is DJ Shark and
Yes, indeed.
KLBC right here celebrating College Radio Day with our other co-hosts.
DJ, please don't bite it.
Please don't bite it.
Please don't
I
bite
suggest
it.
you please don't bite it.
Not what you told me. I love it. That's good.
Yeah, please don't bite it. And we're here with JFP.
Wow.
Right here in the studio.
Live and direct.
That's last little bit is what you heard. That was called Put It in the Air.
That hotness, put it in the air.
Put it in the air, y'all. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Friday to everybody.
How you
Thank you for
feeling?
coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for letting me. Like I said, it's really rad to be here on College Radio Day. I got much love and respect for college radio.
Yeah,
so
cool. So you told us you're used to work in college radio.
Yeah, I was station operations manager, man.
wow.
5 years. Cal State Long
You got the
Beach.
status.
When we were K Beach, and I had my own show for 5 years, so I know all of the energy, the like unseen insanity that happens to make the college
Please
radio
believe it.
happen, you know. No money, no love, and you're like, but this has to happen, you
Yeah,
know, and you guys are
exactly.
killing it, so much respect.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. It's not
Yeah.
as large as, over there at Cal State, but I mean.
No, there's two different things at Cal State though. There's upper campus with the jazz station, but then there's just the little baby, just a little student station. We just got a couple boards like this, but just a whole lot of heart,
Yeah,
That's what it takes to make
Yeah.
it.
that's what we're doing over
Yeah.
here. So
Respect.
you're recording artist. You do hip hop. That's what we heard, a little earlier.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started?
Well, I guess you kind of caught on my little tag here, Run DMC. My mom was an aerobics instructor in the 80s, so I had a really great youth that I got to go when there was actually record stores and dig in records and look at music all the time, weekly, because mom was making weekly workout tapes. So mom was staying on point, and so I got to dig. And one day I came across these 3 fly dudes in Adidas suits head to toe, and I'm like, I need this, moms. And it was UB Ellen, Run DMC, and it changed my life. And I've been a student my whole life, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the raw expression of hip hop, the trueness of it, the authenticity of it, the poetry of it, the gospel of it, and it's the most pervasive and effective medium of communicating in the whole world. So I hopped on in there real young, and I'm not going away.
That's right. Yeah, never give up.
That's
Never
the
give
true
up.
way
Never
to look
stop.
at it, because when you think about it, it was really like poetry on the streets. They had to get their opinions off, one way or another.
Yeah, oppression is oppression, and I mean, Tupac is taught in universities. There are things to learn. There are, there are songs to turn up to, and there are songs to listen and go within to.
Yes.
And you gotta, and so many people who are not educated about hip hop, who don't listen to hip hop, just have this picture of what this one thing what is, and it's just ignorance. And I feel very blessed that I got to be a student of what I consider the golden era of hip hop. Like West Coast, we're talking like NWA, like just really, really authentic stories, and I was just enthralled and hooked, and forever and ever and ever. Little white girl in Bakersfield going, this is it. This is, I want to do this,
So you said you grew up in Bakersfield, and then you came down. to Long Beach area?
Yeah, well, I've been all over. I'm definitely a traveler. It's so funny, this gypsy heart I see right here. I feel that.
That's right. I feel that
You
gypsy
see,
heart.
I got the gypsy life on the fingers. You know, like, yeah, I'm definitely a nomad, a traveler. San Francisco to West Hollywood. Finally got here to Long Beach in 2010. Got my master's at Cal State Long Beach and go beach, you know. And
That's cool.
but never stopped doing music. Never let anything stop doing music.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, as a rapper, I mean, how long have you been in the? You say you've been doing it all your life, since pretty much.
Yeah, you know, like I get who I am, and a lot of people be like, oh, who is this? So this is not hip hop. You know, I'm white, I'm a woman, I'm gay, I'm a lot of things.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fit. Well, it doesn't matter anymore, right?
You know what I'm saying?
But when I was a kid, I thought I could never be in hip hop. So it was like, I'm a poet, I'm a writer, you know, and I think I thought I was a good writer, and then I realized, like, shit, I can put this to a beat, man, and this is fire, and more people will listen to my words with a catchy hook on it than me standing in front of giving you a poetry with no beat, and so just my head exploded, you know, really young, you know, and like I said, I mean, Doggy Style was, I was in high school for that. Like, I mean, that's why I got Snoop on my shirt. I mean, he changed the world, and he changed my world, and yeah. I don't know if I answered your question though.
I mean, it just gave me more questions.
Okay, yeah, I'm a kid.
I mean, how does it feel as a woman writer and
to be a female artist as yourself? Do you what like complications do you come across?
I mean, sexism's pretty pervasive, you know, and I'm not. You know, and I'm not the girl that you're gonna get either, because I'm very outwardly gay, you know. So like, oh shit, now I got nothing to offer you, you know. Like it's a lot of men's eyes, right? You know. Yeah. But I will say that like that it's not. There's a lot of good guys out there, you know, and I'm definitely like. I don't know what I can say on the radio, so I'll be good. But
you work the radio, you know.
Yeah.
Well, there's some hashtags about men that like people want to fight against, but there's a reason that they're being said, you know, because there are a lot of, you know, women are not lying, you know. Men do really horrible, crappy things to try to manipulate women, and I have always been exceptionally strong, and that's been really scary to a lot of guys. But the guys that see me, like, love me, like, we're bros, like, they have my back, I have their back, we're equal. So I've had the men I am friends with are so selective, but they treat me like one of the boys.
Yeah.
And when we can do that, you know, it breaks all these barriers. But unfortunately, a lot is like, you know, who is this white girl trying to pick up the mic? But if they shut up long enough to let me get on the mic, then I win them over.
Teach them a lesson.
Okay, but then there's even more hate, like, oh, get this bitch out, you know. You know. I've had dudes cut my mic.
Really?
Cut my mic because I was murdering it on their shit, on their I'm sorry.
Oh.
You know, and
Excuse us for that.
Get me hyped up.
Excuse
Get
us
me hyped
for that. KLBC.org. Apologies.
You know, I apologize, but you know, yeah, I mean, it's a fight, and then, you know, to boot, I'm not just a woman, I'm white. I get it. There's a lot, and like I said, I get it. I understand. We live in an extremely racist society. I am extremely aware of my privilege, and you know,
it's not only racist, stereotypical.
We got it.
Where, you know, only certain people are allowed to do this kind of music, or,
right?
You know, only it's, you know, generalized.
Try to categorize you, put you in.
Right.
You gotta be
even
in this
those
bracket.
Extremely successful white rappers, and they're, you know, there's extremely, you know, not every white dude is a racist dude, right? We know that, you know, and I mean, there's no way I would be here if I had any sort of like inkling of that in my body, you know, and I think it's just more important to let your actions speak. Anybody who knows me knows my actions and knows what I do with my life and my energy, you know. They feel me, but on surface, I was a white dyke picking up the microphone. This is no. And I get it. So I definitely have battles that I think other dudes don't have. But in the end, it's going to be what makes it, because I will stand out.
Exactly.
I'm not a part of the 1,000 other dudes in LA who are like, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And you talk a lot about that in your songs?
I'm very political, and I really try to do it like, Mary Poppins. I put a little sugar in it, so you'll take it down. Like that song you played, put it in the air. If you just listen to that hook, she just talking about weed. She just could. If you stop and listen to the lyrics.
It's much more than what
Your
it's saying.
head's gonna stop a few times. I'm gonna catch you off guard a few times if you're paying attention to the lyrics. But I know. But I'm trying to write for everybody. I'm trying to write for the dude who just wants to smoke a blunt with me, and I'm trying to write for the person who's trying to go introspective.
As you should.
And do some soul searching.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to put it all in every song so it gets consumed.
So you're telling us earlier how you'd get on the mic and people just cut you off. So do you do like?
I mean, that happened like once, but it was really crappy. He literally cut my microphone. I'm like, bro.
But do you do kind of like those like battle style kind of?
No,
things?
I'm a writer. I'm a writer. Like, freestyling. Like, I'll do it for sure. But like the top of my head, my initial thoughts are scary and not good and unfiltered. And I don't want to give you that. I want to give you polished product and performance.
So you don't want to give us that? You don't want
I mean, you keep playing my shit,
Yeah. Oh, watch it.
They always want to freestyle, I know, but
KLBC, excuse us,
like
apologies out there.
Come on.
It's all
College
good.
radio.
See, that's why you don't want to freestyle. Like,
Yeah, we'll love to hear it. As soon as the mics are off and we all the air. Let's go
we
ahead
can
and do
freestyle
that.
with the mics off. I don't know who's coming around, who's listening to me, but
at least we know.
Maybe if we were freestyling for like an hour, that like into that hour, I'd be murdering it, But I mean, I don't give you everything when I'm writing. I write, and I freestyle the beats like 100 times, and then it's like I gather themes and see what happens and put it together like I'm really developing something and trying to make art here. So freestyle is an art. I started out in improv and stand-up comedy, so I'm definitely just coming off the cuff. Like, it's not that I can do it, and like a lot of dudes that I freestyle with, they're like, you're great, but to me it's I can't get to the level of depth in a freestyle that I can writing, if that makes sense. But that's just a skill. That's a skill I got to work on. But man, I could, but that's just not, that ain't me. Like in San Francisco a lot, I lived there and we did what was called love battles. So we would go against each other, but I'd be like, man, I love them chugs, man. I would just compliment you head to toe. And like that to me like really inspires me, because there's enough hate in the second we realize if we all stop hating each other, it's not me against you. It is us against they. And I'll let you fill in what they is, but we're on the same team, man.
I gotta stay with different tactics.
Yeah.
If you had to say like what type would you have to like say your style is? Are you more like we just talked about the battle rapping on that? Are you aggressive? Are you laid back? Are you what?
I'm very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive.
AGG, yes, yeah. Yeah, man. Aren't you angry about stuff in this world? And I've found it a struggle to like, Julie, you have to make a party anthem. You have to make some fun stuff, because I just want to like, be mad all the whole time, and that's not helpful or healthy. I'd like to think that I have a good collection. Like I said, you go to the website, 123JFP/music. It's 13 tracks, so a baker's dozen. I think if you go through that baker's dozen, like you're gonna love me by the end of that. I think it's very diverse. I have roller skate songs that are like cheesy and fun that like, I have a lot of kids that listen to, and then like Hot Sauce is just like middle finger to everybody who didn't support me and believe in me. So it's very aggressive, and then I Can Win is very.
Too.
Oh damn, man! You should just put me in a box. Just put a sensor on my face. I mean, do you know what my name stands for? which we can't even say on air. Julie
we'll
F. Potter. You fill in the F with your favorite
We'll
word.
just keep it at JFP.
Yeah, that's why we say JFP. Oh my God, yeah, I'm not good on camera. When there's rules. I'm great on camera when there's no rules.
Also you perform for LGBT festivals as well?
Yeah, you got to hit that queer circuit. I've done a lot of prides. I've done Long Beach, Bakersfield, San Francisco, Fresno, like I said, with all the barriers, that's definitely a community that's like, come on over here, queer rapper. Oh God,
Sorry,
I know.
I just got
God, could we just? Are you the boss?
No.
Oh man.
I've just got these guys fired today. Okay, cool. Right, exactly. We would both be going in. All right.
I don't know if everybody can see
Yeah,
this.
I just wanted
I'm
to
not.
know why the DJ in the back, is he in the witness protection program?
Yes, I'm over here in the cut. I'm off the
With that
camera.
Joker shirt?
I'm just the voice. That's it. College Radio Day, ladies and gentlemen. We live here. KLBC.org. Check us out.
So
I don't know what you just asked me.
So you mentioned your website, how you have a website where people can find you. That's one.
Yeah, 123jfp.com. So, and on all the social stuff, it's JFP Raps with a Z. So JFP RAPZ. Like, yes, I'll rap. Okay, JFP Raps. Follow me on Insta, all the things.
Cool. Do you have,
yeah.
other than that, maybe like album or anything, or you're just kind of just...
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm all the ways. I dropped a, what is it, still 2019? Yeah, I dropped an EP at the beginning of the year called Aquarius Aquarius. I am an Aquarius.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
It is. Okay. Well, then y'all.
Gemini. No, just fine.
I'm a Gemini rising, so I'm an Aquarius and I'm a Gemini. So like, I'm usually the only Aquarius like fighting for my Gemini homies, just so you know. Okay. All right. I'm like, no, I get it. Leave me alone. All right. But that's real dark. Like do not listen to that on your Friday turn up. All right. Listen on your Sunday joint. Think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to my website, there's all the songs. I'm dropping a new song, which I'm really excited about. It's called Water with Gas. It comes out full moon.
That's the one I asked you, what's your favorite? And you're like, oh, the next one.
It's always the next. It's like my baby,
yeah.
right? I just like created it. I gave birth to it. I love it. I'm just like looking at, listening to it every day.
Brand new.
It's brand new. It's still cute. I'm not tired of it, I don't have children. It's okay, guys. Okay. So Water with Gas will be out, on all the ways you get that. And water with gas, a lot of Americans don't, like, what does that mean? In Europe, they call sparkling water with gas. And it's San Pellegrino.
Bubbly.
It's just it's a really, fun way to talk about sparkling water. But the song is not just about sparkling water at all. So just check it out. Water with gas.
Yeah, it's maybe a little different.
Yeah. It's some good stuff.
All right, cool. So you have something for us to play? Maybe I see you brought out a mic.
Oh, I always carry my mic with me because I never know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? That's a great tactic as being an MC.
I always carry my mic with me as an MC.
I got a mic tattooed on me. I carry mine with me at
I
all
was going
times.
to do that, but maybe I can't pick it up and hold it. So I just keep it in my back pocket.
I don't know if the camera caught that, but she just pulled it out of
nowhere. Abracadabra, alakazam. Here it is right here.
She's always ready.
Right now, she's ready.
People slobber up on the mic, and if I'm going to rap and get out, and this mic I rap and do every day of my life. So it has my energy, my love. I perform with it. I practice with it. So it's also really psychological.
That is very unique and very tight of you. That is very nice. I'm an MC myself, and I don't do it. Like I said, I got one on my arm, but that is very nice.
Yeah, I'm crazy about
That's
it.
an inspiration right there. I might have to go somewhere and buy me one. I might have to take one out the studio and carry it.
I bring it back because it's coming with me.
Don't say it.
It's just always with me,
That's right. College Radio Day, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure. There we go.
Is this a little tune for us?
So you want me to do a song? Is that what you'd like?
It's up to you. I don't know. I
well,
feel
that's
like
what that
you're
is.
Ready. Like you came
I'm not going to rap in a minute. Like I said, I came to do it.
But it seems like you're always ready for something.
I am always ready for something.
What's that? Can we switch out?
Oh, I mean, if I'm using this one, that's cool.
No,
or am I using this?
Use this one.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Here, like, ta-da. Do you want to like
on the stand, or you want?
Yeah, we'll leave it on the stand.
You can just hold it, you know,
I
like an MC, or you can throw it on there.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable. You're our guest. Welcome, welcome.
Play this in.
Shouts out to Sweet Lou's Barbecue, baby.
Yeah, so stick around. We got some barbecue coming in too. Yeah.
Oh, you got that vegan barbecue though?
The remix barbecue.
Yeah, and I'm gluten free, boys. It's not fun to, I know, but I'm gonna live forever, so it's okay.
It's all good.
January 23rd.
I'm February 17th.
Okay, streams.
January 31st.
Okay.
I'm June 2nd.
All right, Gemini.
Shoot.
We didn't ask.
Can't see me on the camera, but I'm June 2nd. Shoot.
If you didn't know, we have DJ Riffraff joining
DJ
us.
Riffraff
He's one
in the
of our
building.
other DJs over here at KLBC.
Love it, DJ
I saw in your
Riffraff.
profile you've performed at a lot of the Long Beach Prides.
Yeah, well, a lot of the California prides, yeah, for
Awesome,
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, that's definitely been like the first community that was open arms to me and was like, yeah, girl, come on in, listen what you got. I started rapping at my queer church in the Castro, so like I started, I can say like, yeah, I started out rapping at my church too, It'll say LBCC.
This one? Okay.
And then, if you want to put it in the air, I could do that, but,
But we kind of...
Yeah, we got
Oh,
the
we can't.
eyes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless you like to...
I'm like, I don't know if I have any that are... You're going to have to be alert on all of them.
Am I going to have to, like... hit
No,
this
I
thing,
think
like,
the best might be... What do can I take a look real quick? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, throw me the law so I can just mark it down. I can write it down.
Throw in a Sweet Lou's barbecue.
Why don't we just...
Maybe I need
yeah,
a
we'll
dollar.
just
I need a dollar.
we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. We got
baby.
JFP in the house. We're going to take a little quick break.
You're
Figure some
listening to Turn Radio. KLBC AM 1610. KCTY 107.7 FM. Long Beach's own Turn Radio. The truly underground radio network. The first in college radio. The best in college radio.
Have a cookout, but things are looking blue? Have an event, but the food situation is on the down low? Then call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue, the best rack on wheels. Sweet Lou's lets you plan your party or event while he takes care of the food. Packaged with all you need. Talk to Sweet Lou, he'll take care of you. Special events, fundraisers, corporate parties, private parties, weddings, and more. Call up Sweet Lou and mention Little Son Elif from KLBC's The Same Old Blues Show. For the best ribs, briskets, and beans on 4 wheels, call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue. Call him any place, anytime at 323-213-1632 or at 714-891-7959. Remember, Sweet Lou loves you, and everything's gonna be alright.
So let's see if we can get through that.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're just here trying to figure out what JFB can even
so
play
much
on
heat
air.
in the studio right now.
Middle name
So much heat in the studio.
out on the radio station before 10 p.m. That's
Yeah, exactly. The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of the staff and manager of KLBC.
This is called CYA.
Yeah, we're just doing a little damage control over here. So
yeah.
So what did you want to play? You want? We got a little disclaimer.
I'm not. I swear I have a degree, but I don't know what I learned. All right.
So what do you want? What do you want us to play? I mean, it's your preference, but you also know that you can't.
Yeah,
you
I
can't
know.
do it,
So
yeah.
we're gonna stick within the confine. And is this chicky chicky chick?
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Checky checky for me again.
Yeah.
We're checking.
Driving me crazy.
What is it?
He wants to see this
Oh,
handsome
sorry.
guy in the corner.
No.
Oh no. All right, I tried.
Oh, that's
Because the way it is, you're looking over that way, and he's looking over that way. This way, you're looking at each other.
And that's what we are doing.
Well.
We're in real life.
That has been bothering me for the last hour.
Way to handle it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't make it.
He's not just a DJ.
Yeah.
He's OCD.
He has many traits, many tactics.
That's
ADHD and OCD.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I'm so sorry.
you're good.
Forgive me.
It's
Forgive
all
me. Let's see what I can break before I go.
Right?
Don't do it.
Um,
No.
Just gonna,
Do I get those, or how's the beat?
I mean, it's
Well, where's the beat coming from?
it
come from either one. Okay. So you can either hear it from these monitors or you can hear it from the. Well, we need to pick a beat.
I need $1. It says I need. Yeah, sure. I need $1. I do need $1 too. So please download all my music. It's on iTunes. You can stream it.
You can take change.
You can, JFP Raps, my Venmo. Just hit it up. I know that's a video. Don't play that. Should say I need $1. That's LBC. So the one right above it. Oh, okay. There you go. No, that's Notorious. There you go. That's all right.
Wait, there we go. All right, here we go. JFP right here on KLBC
Sure.
I need $1, that's what I need. Well, I need $1,
Hey,
that's what I
hey.
need.
Where your money at? Where your money at? Couple more dollars, see, and I'ma be a ballabee, but you still with it, yeah, wants me to. So that's just what I'ma do. Drink vibes, smoke one girl, come on through. She wants that's true. She wants a woman with a touch. She wants some more coats and she ain't gotta ride that bus. It's always a fuss and a daily fight. Cause that wage work I life, man, it just ain't right. So I'm working overtime till I get my shine. Gonna share with my people, thinking mood is mine. Trying to find sublime and the rest in the seas. Up and down like moves, emotions and economies. Not seeking no shopping spree. Just daily organics in my dietary. Working like a Mexican, underpaid and undernoticed. Dancing like Troy, cause this fight is bogus. Hey, where your money at? Yeah. That's right. Put your hands up wherever you at. Hey, well, I need it. Will I share it? Hey. That's without healthcare. Mama's on welfare. You got 3 cars, 5 cars. How's that fair? You think you big cause you rock a Bugatti? Forget you, dude. I don't think you nobody. That's why you getting shoddy. I will keep a lottie-dotty, but you all alone in that real life party. Naughty by nature, is it a choice? All you do is take. How could you rejoice? Visions is skewed. Need to be reviewed. Humility, empathy, aptitude. A positive mood and the opposite of rude. Creating that win-win attitude. Well, I'm never approving this. I'm always loud. And I'ma keep walking cause I'm out and proud. To gather around, man, and listen to my story. Determination, that's extraordinary.
I need $1, that's what I need. Well, I need $1, that's what I need.
Download my music. Stop streaming.
Say I need $1, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
I don't need no money, man, to know what's true. I got the sun in the sky and the ocean blue. Till I'm trying to eat some shrimp and get a truck that's flush. Enough gold bars to make my girl blush. I just wanna touch every continent. And speak languages that are incoherent. Swim naked on the 7 seas. Eat oysters underneath the canopies. Swing from the trees. Buzz like the bees. Can't bloody knees. Sangria, what I got from Montegia. Jump off the plane, last so long, see ya. Adventurous experience requires a bit of assistance. Hey, so why the hesitation? I just need your card reservation.
I need $1, that's what I need.
Hey,
Well, I need $1, that's what I need.
what I need.
Say I need $1,
Shout out to Outlaw Black. Hey,
and if I share with you my story, would you
If I
share
share
your dollar with me?
Give me all your money. At least 99 cents. At least 99 cents.
Yeah.
College Radio Day, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
everybody.
Get it in. We get it in at
Make it loud in here,
KLBC.org. Check us out.
That's College Radio Day needed.
Yes, indeed.
Now get some donations immediately to the station.
She need $1.
My GoFundMe page is.
Yes.
You heard me.
You got another one in you? Or
Want another one?
I don't know.
Why don't we take it back? Let's do Juicy.
Okay. Is
that right?
Juicy.
Yeah, because this is, you know, you gotta pay respect. Pay respect to those who led the way.
If I can get it.
Or I guess I could give you water with gas. Ooh, no, I can't do that. I can't.
Is that the new one?
It's the new one that y'all should get on the full moon. I try to release a new song every full moon, you know? So, are you guys gonna be singing the hook?
Alright, okay. You got that? Sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you on the hook. Everybody on the hook. That's right. Yeah, we love you, Biggie. It's all good, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rapping day, watch your magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjacks with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight 'cause I rock tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. The one said the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Used to rock beat, kick the free. Funk master flex, love bug, star feet. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. Yeah. And if you don't know, now you know.
Come on, Russell. It's all the stars. Never go, but the only one.
College Radio Day.
From a common thief to up close and
Personal.
rob and leak. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke blunts with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn
way.
Come away and LSA, keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me. Now they're writing letters 'cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing cats and stuff. Now honeys play me ghost like butter play ghost. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. Turned over Queens, Indo for weeks. Sold out seats to hear JFP speak. Living life without fear. Putting 5 carrots in my baby girl's ears. Lunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool 'cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. But it's still all good. Hey, yeah,
It's all
and if you
good.
don't know, now you know.
You know very well. Radio Day.
KLBC. College Radio Day.
He's loving it.
Hey, and if you don't know,
I'm a radio,
no.
not a singer.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Hey.
When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got to ride the limousine with a chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my account handles fed. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day. No more public housing. Thinking back on my one-room shack. Now my mom pips an act with me on her back. And she loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time my face is up in the sauce. We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No hate, wonder why Christmas missed us. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we're thirsty. Damn right, I love the life I live. 'Cause I went from negative to positive, and it's all, hey,
it's all
don't
good.
know, now you know.
KLBC.
All right, I'm done singing.
College
I'm
Radio
done
Day.
singing.
Yes, indeedy. That's how we do it. College
All
Radio
right.
Day, live and
Yes, I
direct.
love
Thank
it.
everybody for listening. Thank you for all the listeners. Shouts out.
Yeah, right? With my terrible singing, terrible backup
As
singing.
long as I could tell I was rapping and not singing.
Yeah, right. All right, well.
That wasn't me trying to sing over there. I have the
that
deep
wasn't
voice,
me.
not
I
the
was
fan.
just, sitting here doing that. Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
coming
much.
on. Before we go, can you let everybody know once again where to find you? Where to find your music?
JFP, 123jfp.com. That's the website. That's the base for everything. But if you're on Insta, which I'd love to follow, get up on there, man. JFP Raps, JFP RAPZ. So that's rap with a Z on the end. And I think that's everywhere, and that's it. And I'm here. I don't know if we're going to talk about later, but the Women's Festival, October 20th in Long Beach. So we'll be performing locally, and if you're in the city, come through. And if not, catch me on the gram, bruh.
On the gram, bro.
And thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming. Yeah,
For sure. Highly appreciate it.
I had a good time. All right. Well, this is KLBC right here. This is College Radio Day. We just had JFP right here with performance, and right now we're gonna take a little break at the moment and have a little
Turn Radio. KLBC AM 1610. KCTY 107.7 FM. Long Beach's own Turn Radio. The truly underground radio network. The first in college radio. The best in college radio.
Have a cookout, but things are looking blue? Have an event, but the food situation is on the down low? Then call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue, the best rack on wheels. Sweet Lou's lets you plan your party or event while he takes care of the food. Packaged with all you need. Talk to Sweet Lou, he'll take care of you. Special events, fundraisers, corporate parties, private parties, weddings, and more. Call up Sweet Lou and mention Little Son Elif from KLBC's The Same Old Blues Show. For the best ribs, briskets, and beans on 4 wheels, call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue. Call him any place, anytime at 323-213-1632 or at 714-891-7959. Remember, Sweet Lou loves you, and everything's gonna be alright.
Hello there. Welcome to IHOP.
Welcome to IHOP. Me? Why do I see IHOP and burgers on the window when the sign outside still clearly says IHOP? Where are the pancakes?
Well, sir, the burgers are only additions to our menu. We still have the same great pancake and breakfast choices that you love.
Oh yeah? What about the pancake platter?
Still got it.
The 2x2x2?
Still got it.
The pick a pancake?
Still got it.
The Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity?
Still got it.
Huh. Well, ain't that something?
Yes, sir. Now, what can I get you today?
Oh, I'll take the pot roast melt, please. I had pancakes before I left the house.
More food, more options, more variety than you'll know what to do with. The Lakewood IHOP off of Candlewood Street and Lakewood Boulevard across from the Lakewood Center Mall. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
KLBC AM 1610, Radio California, Central Studios, Long Beach.
I see the truths, I holler what it do. What it do. Can't stop now. What it do. Give it all I got now. Give it all for you, and all I ask is what it do. I always felt safe in the village. Great place to create is in the village. I know it's tough being raised in the village. Matt and Sarah, be safe in the village. Doing things that most would only dream. Walks along the beach is becoming my thing. Hunting for a moose or fishing for kings. I finally feel alive, and you can tell when I sing. What it do? What it do? What it do? Tell me what it do. Tell me what it do. What it do? What it do? longer a dream now. Had to make trades, got a better team now. As a kid, I see me being a mega star. On the road to riches, wishes of a better car. Got the game on lock, Rikers with better bars. Anything with my name on it becomes better art. You get action, so incredible, it's not funny. Nick Cannon, grinding for my family, leaving it a legend. Immortality is in my hands, giving it all I can. Working to be the best who ever did it. Lonnie Dangerous, get it? Doing things that most would only dream. Walks along the beach is becoming my thing. Hunting for a moose or fishing for kings. I finally feel alive, and you can tell when I sing. What it do? What it do? What it do? Tell me what it do. Tell me what it do. What it do? What it do? What it do? Just tell me what it do. Tell me what it do. What it do? 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 Can't stop now. What it do? Give it all I got.
This is KLBC. We're right here in College Radio Day, doing a little tribute to our gone Professor Ken Borgers. We'll be here soon, talk about his career here and his career in radio, how he broke new music, and what I got for you is some new music from Lonnie Dangerous right here on KLBC.
Lonnie Dangerous. For the kids. The kids.
I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. I'm blue, but still trying to blow one. Only came in the game to blow up. All these doll babies in nothing or in see-through. Trying to talk my head off while my mind's all on yo butt. Now that I'm a star, they'll do anything I wanna. Like playing Anaconda, giving me an anaconda, holding an anaconda. And if you do, I'll tell you I'm special to you. Sending me naked pics and pics, loving the devil in you. Got me butt naked with you, getting it with you. In the back of the car, rocking it, filling it up, unleaded with you. Going hard in the paint, almost starting to fade. Grandmas and cougars might be Cosby in my drink. I would say I love you, but that might be just to get laid. It's just lies. I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. I'm off the effing. When I step in, I'm an effing weapon. On smash, smashing way up like it's the heavens. Big clouds, better quality chicks. Now it's a profession. I'm Daddy Maury, no testing for body, for sexing. Pussy be that good, I wanna bust it. She told me she bring chicks, I'm like, oh yesin'. Wanna stare at me every day, but I'm busy bringing checks in. Real talk, my baby really loves me. And I love being knee deep. Every time I nut, I love how she sucks me. Off top, wanna bubble, relax, dark and lovely. And I be Roxanne, that old sad song sung by police. Shot in the streets, tell my mama I'm a drug fiend. But I want free, not 134 years for amphetamines. Will leave me to die, I survived. I've been here before so many times. The man in so many lives. See that Chico, it's all in the eyes. Whatever they think is big, do it twice that size. Billie Jean, I'm not your love, that kid's not mine. I told you 1,013 times. I stick and move like pretty boy Floyd in his prime. I came all by myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. myself, but get used to seeing my face. I'm trying to stay way blue. Days in the kitchen, plans on making my big cake. Black mamba, black mamba. Black mamba, black mamba. All I wanna do is live forever. Live it to the limit every minute. Okay. Ladies, we party, give up never. And I only play to win. And I am the one. And this is me. 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 This is me, trillionaire chasing, mastering chains, constantly slaving. Fall off artists ain't no need saving. Got a shorty addicted, she say it's amazing. She do things to me that I shouldn't be saying. But she bisexual, young my age. Tryna own a few compounds that's gated. With 3 sister wives doing whatever naked. Tryna grind until the grind can't take it. This is me and you ain't the same. This is me and all that other ain't it. I am it. Why you want that hood fame lame? Cause I'm dark matter. As I spark chatter, sonic booms and crashes spitting art at 'em. Jaws are still the Wolverine growling bark at 'em. They ask Hussein, tell 'em dark Saddam. Obama terrorist with drones, die grab 'em. All I wanna do is live forever. Live it to the limit every minute. Ladies, we party, give up never. And I only play to win. And I am the one. And this is me. 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 The sun don't compete with other stars. It just shine while others twinkle in the dark. All alone, I tear this mother apart. I smile cause I'm Tonka tough from jump start. Like Pac, I'm tough to love, but I love hard. Ain't never gonna be enough money, my goals large. Cause I'm a comedian, you think it's a joke, it's the cold part. I'm doing movie soundtrack, a young go hard, goes hard. Making my own clothes unless they paying chocolate is so dark. Creating a foundation, a global growth part. Started with just a tip and even then I wanted to go far. I put my name in it, give it my all, my own art. All I see is gonna do, wanna do, never do. Never hating on me cause their dreams already do. Busy building my empire, what it do? On set of music videos, lead role, who are these dudes? This is some. All I wanna do is live forever. Live it to the limit every minute. Ladies, we party, give never. And I only play to win. And I am the one. And this is me. 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 This is me.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to KLBC Long Beach. Right now, we got a little Q&A, I guess. A little, not Q&A, more of like a little remembrance for Mr. Ken Borgers, who was our instructor for so long. And
once again, he is not dead. He is alive.
You gotta point that out.
Yeah, right. He's just gone from the radio station. He's no longer here.
After 40 years, man.
Sorry. Go ahead.
After 40 years, can you guys believe Ken has taught here for over 40 years?
Yeah, well, That's pretty amazing, man. I didn't think it was that long. I thought it was more like 20.
Yeah, and because I was counting at the fact that because my old friend Pat Graham was here for 15 years, so I was counting about 20 just based off of that. And then when Ken told me more like 40, I was like, "Good Lord!" But you know, it's the thing about Ken was that he was just he made everybody feel like family.
Yeah.
You know, like we all felt like friends of his. We all felt like family. Like for young cats like me and you, Mark, we felt like the kids he never had. You know?
And we were kind of like, it was always like, you know, he was kind of there to like motivate you. He was just, you know, you'd be like, oh, you know, I don't know if I can like host my own show, and you're like, oh, just try it, just do it, if you're gonna just do it, just might as well, get it over right now here during college radio and do it in college, because once you get into the real world, then they won't take mistakes.
Yeah,
they're gonna tear you
do
apart.
hey, Facebook Live, we're live here at LBCC for College Radio Day. They stuck me back in the corner. I'm not on camera, but if you want to stream live our show and listen to us, go to lbcrd.com. We're talking now about a past instructor that we had here, Mr. Ken Borgers. He's down in San Diego full-time now. Yeah, Ken, we miss you, dude. You left us hanging, man.
Of course, Ken is on the air right now in San Diego. He should be getting off in about a couple minutes. But I got to ask you guys,
wait. Before we do anything, can we introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
We got DJ Riff Raff in the corner.
DJ Riff Raff back here in the corner.
Gary G-Rock, G-Rock's Demo Radio.
I go by two names, Robert Losan Eliv and Robert Junkyard Bob Eliv. So which one do you want me to
you just named both of us, so we already know. So we know. I'm DJ Shark, Mark the Shark. We got
DJ
Herb.
Don't Bite It in the house.
DJ Don't Bite It in the house. We're all kind of prodigies of Ken
Borgers.
And the thing is, like, we talk about that family dynamic that Ken brought every semester, like even if you didn't know who Ken was, and you just heard that one word, it was instant. Like, I can work with this guy. I can. There was nothing. I don't think a single one of us have anything bad to say about Ken.
No, I really liked him because we were close to the same age, and he liked.
Yeah,
we
me
could
too.
relate to a lot of stuff, and he loved all the music I played because he remembered it too from pretty much the same era.
Right.
And with Ken being a jazz DJ, me and him always had some great conversations. Like, I remember the time. He told me about the time he got to interview Count Basie, who was one of the all-time best jazz piano players. Did a lot of boogie-woogie swing and a lot of great stuff. And he told me every question he would ask Basie would just mumble all his words. Like if he said, if Count Basie didn't know who you were, he would just mumble everything. Like, if he wasn't a regular on your show, he wouldn't give you like a straightforward answer. He'd just mumble everything. And he said that interview was like 45 minutes of just basic mumbling all his answers.
Again, go to lbcrd.com. Stream this live. Support
YouTube
College
channel.
Radio Day.
CRD.
I gotta ask you guys, because obviously my listeners know how I came into the program, but how did you guys find out about Ken and the department?
Well, I mean, I'll go for. I guess how I found out was kind of just through the way I mean, because radio's communication, so everybody, they're trying to get their name out. And they were at, Join a Club Day, which is an event at school that they hold, to join a club. And radio club was one of the, things to do. And, you just come in, just kind of look around, just see everybody. And everybody's, to be honest, like, radio club was more organized than some of the other clubs. Because some of the other clubs are just like, let's just sit around and talk.
Those that shall not be named.
Yeah. Some of them are just like, let's just sit around and talk for, an hour.
and I got to say, Mark, those were the days when, this was like 2 years ago. Those were the days when we actually knew what we were doing.
Yeah, right? When Borges was here and he had it running like a well-functioning machine.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's been 45 years since I've been in school, and my goal was to get a degree and certificate in medical assisting and phlebotomy so that I could be state certified to do HIV, STI testing and counseling. Yeah. Well, after the first week of school, the instructors kept saying, you don't want this information to just sit in your short-term memory, you want it to go in your long-term. I couldn't even get it to stay in my short-term memory, let alone go into my long-term memory. And I panicked, and I thought, dropping out is not an option. I'm getting financial aid. I've got to see this commitment through. And so I dropped all the medical assisting classes, and then and I started going through the catalogs to figure out what can I pick up, to make up for that. And I went through and I found Introduction to Public Speaking, and I couldn't get into it because the classes were all filled. And so then I'm still looking through the catalog, and I come across radio and television, and I'm going, oh, I used to be a professional actor. I've done commercials, back in the 70s. And I was in all the acting unions. And I read on there that they have 2 radio stations. I thought, oh, man, I used to DJ in the clubs. This would be a blast. And so I petitioned to Ken, and he immediately responded. He said, yes, we need people. Here's your permission number, And I got in. And from that first day, I went, it was meant to be, Yeah. And Ken was so welcoming. And just to share his wealth of knowledge and experience, I was hooked. And for 2 semesters, and then, dude, we really miss you. I wish you'd come back and visit us at least, come do a talk or something. But that's my story.
I was on internet radio for about 9 years in Anaheim, and it fell apart and went downhill, so Benny Breeze was a studio manager. His friend was Zach Cortez, and I looked for KSPC in Claremont because it's closer to Corona. I looked at all the different radio shows, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Riverside, but I didn't have the credits to transfer, and you have to go to school to be on the radio. So Zach goes, hey, they got radio days at LBCC. I go, all right, I'll check it out. And the first person I met was Ken and Robert, and they're just the nicest people. And he got me in here, and just like he said, after that, I was hooked. They said, you have to take a class to host a radio show. I go, I haven't been to school in like 35 years. So I took the video class with Professor Noor, and we're making videos now, and I have my show Mondays here on klbc.org from 12 to 3. And Ken helped me all the way. We are going to miss him. It definitely hasn't run as good as when he was here.
I want to give a shout out to my show. Will be starting this coming week, Wednesday afternoons, 12 noon to 2 p.m. on KCTY. You can stream it live audio. And I will do Facebook, but I will dim the sound down for the song so Facebook doesn't mute my show. And you can stream it on kcty.org.
And I guess even though I mentioned that my listeners know my story about coming here, I guess I should go ahead and tell it again because you guys I don't think know
people who don't know.
Yeah, because I don't even think you guys know my story. But when I first came to LBCC back in 2016, I I actually wanted to take classes in history because I wanted to be a museum curator. You know, that was always my dream at the time because I just have such a passion for history, whether it's music or American history or anything. And when that fell through, because it was applicable for transfer, and I was not looking to transfer at the time, I did digital media, and after about a year of doing that, I'm at a gig with I'm at one of my dad's gigs over at the Eagles Lodge right here in Lakewood, I think. And my buddy Pat, who was the general manager of KLBC for over 15 years, comes over to me and he says, and I ask him, "Hey Pat, I'm thinking about taking radio in the fall. What do you think about the program and all that?" And at the time, Mark, our buddy Mark Sosa had just finished doing a show on the station as well. And Pat goes, "I think that's a great idea, man. You're never going to find a better teacher than Ken Borgers." And I had never heard that name Borgers before. And then I asked my dad, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know his little sister Helen from K-Jazz, because Helen was on K-Jazz for over 30 years." And so when I took the class, I instantly got hooked. I got hooked with everything in the club and the station. I eventually became general manager, and next thing you know, I became one of 3 guys who became Ken's right hand man. And if it wasn't for Ken, I wouldn't have been lucky to have such great friends like you guys,
and be in the position you are with your, you
you were vice president of the club one time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was vice president of the club. And Danny, I know exactly what you're about to ask.
No, no. I was going to say you said 2016, right?
Yeah, this was when I.
You were like 12.
Yeah.
No,
15.
No, because
you're still in high school.
I had actually just graduated high school by 2016. But when I joined the department, it was fall of 2017.
Oh wow!
And September 13th, 2 days, ironically, after 9/11, September 13th, 2017, this year I celebrated 2 years on KLBC, and it's all because of you guys, and it's because of Ken. Because without all of you guys, I wouldn't have had the passion and the drive to keep up with everything I'm going with everything I'm doing, and just like I told Ken, I love Ken to death, and with all you guys know I love each and every one of you guys as well, and I love the listeners of KLBC.
I just want to say something real quick. The theme of College Radio Day is break new music, or you heard it first on college radio, and that's always what he said, was break new music.
Right.
College radio was that place where you can actually break new music, because if you try to go to commercial radio and
they
do
won't
something,
play it.
they won't play it.
They won't play it.
Because they don't want to hear that. They want to hear something that makes them money.
Exactly. That's why.
Got to pay for those commercials.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of which,
that's all right. Ken and Robert, without them, I would not even be able to do my show, because college radio is so different from the internet radio I was from in Anaheim, and without those guys, I'd be totally lost. And then open up new avenues for me with the music videos. I had all the bands play my show in Anaheim. And I did things a little bit different. Most on-air personalities would interview the bands, play their CDs. Well, I would have them come in and play live. They could do guitar, electric. I even had drums, full bands. So that was my thing. And like he says, klbc.org, it streams live on YouTube.
KLBC.org, ladies and gentlemen.
RD.
Who's
And
that voice? Who's on that voice?
That's a radio voice.
College radio. That radio voice.
That's a radio voice. And this is the coolest. Are they still doing Radio Free America, or is it that other?
As far as I know, it's still Radio
So if
Free
you
America.
miss the show, if you're working or going to school, whatever, they keep our shows for 2 weeks. You go to radiofreeamerica.com, you go to klbc.org, and then you look for the name of your DJ that you want to listen to, and they keep our shows for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, you can know.
That's very cool.
That's provided we record them and we
Right.
we remember to hit stream and record on,
Right.
on the machine.
I try to bring a
on
CD
OBS.
every time. I know what you're saying. Exactly.
Yes. Shouts out to Mr. Ken Borges. This is DJ Please Don't Bite It, Herb Flournoy. We're giving a tribute to him, man. And I just want to say, I know you guys spoke on it earlier, but I just got back in the studio on the station. I took this class, radioactivity, about 10 years ago with Ken. And at the time, I didn't realize how much he had to offer. I was just here. And I was just taking the class to have a radio station and have my show. And this was back when they had weekend shows. Matter of fact,
That's what I wanted.
Yeah,
to do.
they had a weekend show, and I was doing that. And I didn't take none of the classwork serious. I just wanted to do my show. But this time around, coming around, or last semester and the semester before, I really got to know Ken as he's a very special guy. He wants you to get in there. He has fun with his teachings and the lessons that he has to show you, and all of the knowledge that he has to share with you. It's very positive, and he's very energetic, and he's there to bring you along for the ride, because it's going to be a ride being a DJ. You already know you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your good shows. You're going to have your bad shows. Yeah. That's most definitely guaranteed.
And he's so generous, too. Like when we would have the special events like the IBS conference and everything, it costs $45 a person to get in. He paid for it, for all of us, those that wanted to attend. Wow. He paid for it, And what other instructor does that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
He does really care.
He does. He really does.
Probably
why. True blessing to the department. You know what I'm saying? True blessing to the department. True blessing to all the upcoming DJs. He has a lot of knowledge to share, man, and it's been a blessing. I don't want to say I'm at a loss for words, because I have a whole lot to say, but it's just speaking and feeling in a moment of just speaking about Mr. Borges, man.
Yeah.
And not only does he teach. What I've learned is not only does he just teach about being a DJ or whatever, but just growing up and just living life.
Life lessons.
Yes. Becoming an adult.
Yes, there you go.
Becoming an adult, right.
There you go.
And what it's like to work in the entertainment industry.
Yes, exactly.
He had a lot of insight.
Yeah, a lot of great stories too.
Yeah, right. If only we can get him to tell more.
I know.
Awesome. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I used to love when he would crack up. I can't remember what it was, but one time in class, he was talking, and I made some comment, and it took him a second. It was like a delayed reaction to hear it, and he just started cracking up. I wish I could remember what it was, but it was so much fun to watch him, because he got so into his stories. Just so much.
Yes.
So much animation and everything. I mean, you just stayed glued listening. You wanted to know what was coming next,
Yeah, and then he'll tell you all
and
these crazy
we've got to
stories.
stress he is still alive. He has not passed on.
Not dead.
He is.
Sounds like he
still
is.
alive.
The way we're talking about him, he is very much alive.
That's how much we
He's just
respect
no
him.
longer with us.
We just missed the heck out of him,
Yeah, because we're kind of pulling stuff together ever since he's been gone.
Yeah, we have a new instructor who knows the
technical.
Thank you.
Right.
The technical aspects of radio production, because he's an audio man. He teaches Pro Tools, and he's teaching us how to edit audio, which is really a valuable technique, to learn. But he hasn't had the experience in DJing, himself. And so he doesn't have that experience behind him. Plus, just the stories. I mean,
I remember one time.
You can just watch him. I can see him in my mind, just when he starts getting into a story.
It reminded me, he put up a picture of some like young guy with like in a radio studio with like turntables.
Oh yeah, long
and
from the 70s.
He's like, that was me.
Yeah, it turned out to be Ken.
He's like, if you look at the clock there, I was about like 5 minutes late, but he's like, I was just barely getting in right now.
What happened to the hair?
Yeah, right.
We love you, baby.
Full head of hair. Telling us about how he used to like drive from all the way up here, all the way down to like San Diego, or he'd have to drive to like LA.
I know.
Just to get his first
Did
gigs.
it like every day.
Yeah, like his first gigs, he had to drive his like old car. Like,
I mean, and that drive is.
Yeah,
it's okay when you do it once, maybe in a year.
Yeah.
But can you imagine all the trips every week?
Yeah,
several times a week.
It's basically like your job.
That's a lot of dedication.
That is the true definition of dedication, Merv.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
the
probably
true
why
definition of dedication.
He kind of like gave it out to everybody to get everybody inspired.
Yes.
And he was good at helping us get sponsors, and we would go out and get sponsors, for the radio show.
Yeah.
Which brings me
Sweet
to
Lou's
Robert, who got us Sweet Lou's barbecue. Man, I think we should play a spot. I know it takes a minute.
Sweet
Let's do it.
All right, we'll
He's
be right
got
back,
the
everybody.
meat for us to eat.
You're listening to Turn Radio. KLBC AM 1610. KCTY 107.7 FM. Long Beach's own Turn Radio. The truly underground radio network. The first in college radio. The best in college radio.
Have a cookout, but things are looking blue? Have an event, but the food situation is on the down low? Then call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue, the best rack on wheels. Sweet Lou's lets you plan your party or event while he takes care of the food. Packaged with all you need. Talk to Sweet Lou, he'll take care of you. Special events, fundraisers, corporate parties, private parties, weddings, and more. Call up Sweet Lou and mention Little Son Elif from KLBC's The Same Old Blues Show. For the best ribs, briskets, and beans on 4 wheels, call Sweet Lou's Rollin' Barbecue. Call him any place, anytime at 323-213-1632 or at 714-891-7959. Remember, Sweet Lou loves you, and everything's gonna be all right.
Hello there.
And
Hello,
we're back.
everybody. We're back. KLBC is College Radio Day, and we're here honoring Ken Borgers.
And KCTY,
And
the
KCTY,
city.
Yes, both stations.
Both stations
Up
were
on the
here at
campus,
College Radio
baby.
Day.
We're simulcasting. And we're on our YouTube channel, which lbcrd.com. Tune in. You can watch us. You can stream us audio and visual.
Yes.
Video.
I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but this is one of the very few colleges that have 2 radio stations.
Wow. Yeah. When you sit back and
I'm
think
talking about a
2
lot
stations.
major universities.
Not even that.
Yes.
Cal State College has 2 radio stations.
And then amount of awards, award-winning radio stations.
award-winning. We are
But they do have a bowling alley over there.
We are award-winning.
Who came up with that truly underground radio network? Because it totally explains everything.
Radio. Well, my understanding was when they first started KLBC, it was in the basement of the building. And that's how they developed truly underground radio network, because it was underground. It was in the basement.
Right.
And so they just kept it.
Yeah, and actually the network part didn't come in until about
Later.
three or 4 semesters ago when Kyle brought it to Ken's attention and all of our attention, and we thought it was a great idea because we would find out later we're the first college radio network in the country.
Yeah.
And it's not only because of Kyle, but it's because of Ken's leadership to say, let's move on with that.
Right.
Let's do that. And
we should give a shout out to our local radio station in Long Beach. That's just
KLBP.
KLBP. You know, which they should really take over the Turn Radio because they are underground over on Pine and Broadway.
I don't know if people realize this. We have full control of our shows.
Yes.
Play what we want. We talk what we want. You just have to do the FCC rules, no cussing and all that. We have
the George Carlin 7 words that are
exactly.
forbidden.
But we have full control of our shows, and not even the radio station where I was at in Anaheim. We didn't have full control. We had to play all these commercials. You had to do 2 or 3 commercials every hour, and but college radio is so much better. And we do have to have sponsors. And you can promote anything you want on your show, which is really cool. That's why I have the bands in there, and they promote their up-and-coming gigs.
And if there's any local businesses out in the Long Beach area that would like to buy a sponsorship, we'll gladly take you on. We'll put on commercials on here. We'll sponsor you. We'll put up signs when we have events out on the quad, And it's not that expensive.
You can't beat college radio.
Yeah, come support college radio.
At least work with this.
At least 5,000 or 10,000 people locally. Plus, like he said, we stream from coast to coast and around the world.
Yes,
indeed. Proceed.
One of the best memories I think I will always have of Ken in the last few months. Ever since the announcement of his retirement. Was I had told you guys about the 6-string showdown, the blues guitar competition, and they back in August they were honoring me as the rising star in blues radio, and they gave me a great trophy and.
Gold-plated microphone. That's incredible. Why haven't you told us this earlier?
I know. I'm Facebook friends with him. I know.
So am I, but I never. All he does is complain about when I go live on Facebook. I got another notification. You're going live.
He had a picture of it.
But maybe one of these days I'll bring it in and show you guys.
You should. Yeah. Hey, Hirsch brings in his Emmy.
I could be the young version of Hirsch.
Award,
but so at the 6-string showdown. It was their 21 and under show where like, I think it was like maybe 10 of their best 21 and under guitar players all just got up and played. And they were going to do a presentation.
There it is.
What other college has an Emmy-winning instructor that works at their college, teaching the students in college?
A real Emmy.
This is a real Emmy, people. Robert Hirsch.
Now can Robert Elam finish his story?
This is about me, Robert.
You did.
I'm sorry.
No, but so it's getting like closer and closer to when they're getting ready to do my presentation, and I invited. I think I might have talked to some of you guys about coming by.
Sent me a message.
And there was only one person that showed up from KLBC and KCTY, and you guys, to me, I almost teared up because Ken was the one that showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have been there. I had to work.
That's right.
If I'd have known, I would.
I remember saying in my speech, for 2 straight years, I had the privilege of working under Ken, being under his tutelage, and I told him, you don't know how much you mean to me, how much you mean to my family, and I said, from the bottom of my heart, Ken, I thank you for everything you've done for me, everything you've done for KLBC and KCTY,
yes,
and just everything you've done for the millions of fans that have possibly listened to your show over the last few years.
And for also the other people he inspired to become bigger. Like, what was his name? The one we were
What
trying to
was
get
his
earlier.
name?
A famous guy, right?
Danny
famous
Lamos.
guy.
Danny Lamos, you mean, or
No, he's referring to Michael Motion.
Yeah, Michael.
Oh,
Motion.
okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
and actually I didn't think about giving Mike a call, but Michael Motion, he was not only a former KLBC alumni, but it was because of Ken's support that Mike snuck into the production room of a radio station when they took a field trip to the station I think that Rick Dees was working in, and next thing you know, Mike gets asked, "Hey, I like your work. Would you mind doing some stuff for Rick Dees?" And next thing you know, 10 or 15 years later, and Mike is still working for Rick Dees
Wow.
all these years later.
I have a friend. We're friends from Facebook. Plus, we've met and everything. Who went through the whole program and I guess was really big in the radio department here. Shout out to Danny Darko if you're listening or watching. Dude, miss you too. He went through the radio program and
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Ken really realized how many major careers he helped jumpstart, and one of the big things that a lot of people may not know was because everybody knows his little sister Helen Borgers, who recently in the last year or two has passed away
from cancer, right?
Yeah. But a lot of people may not know that Ken was responsible for the creation of KLON back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Really? Which, if you don't know KLON, if you're a younger listener and you don't know what's KLON, you may know KJazz, KKJZ, or as I should say, for their legal ID, 88.1 FM KKJZ, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
my Lyft driver had that on in his car yesterday when I came to school. Yes.
No kidding.
KJazz.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of us, like the four of us, and I should say five, thanks to Mr. Nunez, the five of us all saw the spectacle that was Ken. We saw his genius.
Yes,
I think some of us would even agree that he was the mad scientist when it came to radio.
And again, he is alive.
Yeah.
We don't want to give the impression that the
Yes.
man is not with us anymore. He's just not at our school anymore. He's
Yeah.
retired
He's
from
dearly missed
from
already. So if you're out there listening, Mr. Borges, come on back,
Yeah,
please.
Ken, if you're listening,
come visit
call
us.
us.
Man,
Yeah,
Call us right now.
562-938-4800. That is 562-938-4800.
Or call
KLBC.
Robert on his cell phone and he can put it on speakerphone.
Yeah, because actually, I tried calling Ken when I was outside.
Right.
There was no answer, so I shot him a text saying we're live right now, sharing stories about you.
Well, he may be working down in San Diego.
Well, no, he's off the air now because he was on the air until 1 o'clock. And
Okay.
And it's 1:30 now. But we all saw the genius in Ken,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that was the thing that, and I don't want to go into too much of the behind the scenes stuff. All the behind the scenes stuff that goes on around here.
Oh no!
But
you have to read that disclaimer again.
No, but I was gonna say though, there was a lot of people that just kind of took Ken for granted when it came to his class, and
Very much for granted.
and it's it might be why we lost him as a professor here, but for the five of us, we thank Ken for everything he's done
yes,
for us.
most definitely.
Definitely. Sorry about that.
See that
Live radio.
I think you're.
Truly
I think the
underground
alarm on
radio
your phone
networking.
could tell I was starting to choke up a little
Let me
bit.
just sign
Nah,
off
it's
to
all
Facebook.
good.
I've got to go get ice. that was the reminder to go get ice. Facebook Live, thank you so much. This is DJ Riff Raff. I'll be back when we start with Jammin' Live.
And the thing is, and every time I talk about Ken, and I talk about like everything he's done, the inspiration he was to me in radio, I start getting teary-eyed, and I can already feel it happening now because you guys are family to me.
Yeah, he gives so much of an impact, and he impacts everybody in a different way. And like I said, he impacted me. Like I took this class like over 10 years ago, and I wasn't really taking it too serious. I was just out here. I just wanted a radio show. I wasn't taking the class. But actually, when I sat in the class and got to know Mr. Borgers, it was just like, oh, man, this is not only an instructor. He's my brother. He's my uncle. He's a father figure. I can look at him, and he has so much to teach, and I want to sit here and soak it all up and learn, man, and distribute the knowledge to anybody that I can help out.
Like one of the funniest things I used to always tell Ken was how much of a like you said, father figure he was to me and so many of us. And Ken would always joke and say, "Let's make it grandfather, and we'll be even." He was always. He was never afraid to joke about age or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like he and. You could always tell he cared about all of us. He loved each and every one of us.
Yeah, most definitely he did. All day, every day.
He could see how there was a special bunch of us that really cared about what KLBC and KCTY stood for. Mm-hmm. And even though this semester has already started off rocky, with the fact that we barely got the stations up now.
Yeah.
And with him leaving as well.
Yeah.
Huh?
And with him leaving.
Yeah.
Function as a radio station.
It was just. We have to keep his legacy going in the station. So even if we gotta let people know like what Ken's policies were here, whether they want to follow them or not, we have to stand by our fearless leader.
We got to stay a family, and we can't give up. We can't give up on each other because we all DJs here. We all here for the same reason. You know what that is? To be a DJ, to do what we do, to provide you guys with entertainment. This is KLBC, y'all. Let's do it. In KCTY, let's do it. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep on grinding and keep riding for this. This is our legacy. You know what I'm saying? We got to get older and pass this on. We are not finna drop the ball on anything. We might fumble it, but that don't just because we had a little fumble or whatever, that does not mean that the game is over. So please stay tuned, man. That's just how it goes.
We'll not drop the ball. We might fumble it.
Yeah, we pick it right back up, and we're going to keep on trucking. That's what we do around here. That's
I got
what we
another
do.
story. When just last semester I was we were doing an event. It's like the pajama jam that we do.
Yep.
Try to do every semester, and then I had class, and like I kind of just showed up at the beginning to kind of help out, and then showed up at the end to help out. And then Ken was just kind of like, "Oh, hey, like you do audio, visual, and stuff." And he's like, "Hey, might have a job lined up for you. Like, here's like you're usually good about being on time and getting stuff done." He's like, here's a contact, like contact this guy, he might have a job for you. And now I got like a small little like internship, paid internship.
That's what's up.
So now hard work pays off, and
That's what
he
Ken
always
does.
said
He wants
it's
the
not
best for
about
everybody.
it's not about who you know, it's not about what you know, but it's about who knows you well enough to know that you do a good job, and that's how you get it.
Yeah, and what was always so surprising about Ken was how he could do so many things all at one time. Like coming from Long Beach back over to San Diego for
it's crazy.
to
driving back and forward from here.
you know, but whenever we needed him for something, if we wanted him to come out and support whatever we were doing, one of our special events, Ken was always like, well, let me see if I can make it back in time.
Yeah.
You know, he always put aside time to be there for his students, and we here at KLBC, KCTY, and Long Beach City College, we all love Ken, and this might sound cliche because it's an old work statement, but we wish him well in his future endeavors. You know, we hope every once in a while he will drop by and
try to stop by, Ken. If you're out there listening, man, just drop by, please. We miss you, brother.
I drive an hour each way. I have a fast track that costs me like $7-10 each way, and all the people here and Ken made me feel right at home, so I don't mind the sacrifice. At first I try to get on local stations, but they don't compare to this college radio station. It's
that's what
truly one of a kind.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a statement, and then I want you guys to, I want all of us to fill in the blanks here. He was more than just a teacher. He was.
I'm going to say an uncle. Because that means, like, you know, for me, he's brother and a dad, and he's that cool uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say father because father shouldn't be too strict. He was always that cool uncle. You don't want to say that brother too much because the brother might get on your nerves. But Ken, to me, Herb Flournoy is saying, Ken, if you're out there listening, you're that uncle to me, that cool uncle.
I would say mentor, because he is very. No one has more knowledge than he does.
True.
Mark?
I was going to say mentor.
I mean,
I was going to say uncle.
I mean, we can all repeat words. That's fine. Yeah.
I guess inspiration. Because, you know,
There you
he
go.
always wanted, you know, what was best for everybody else.
Yeah.
He was a father figure, in my opinion. Like
Father radio.
he made us all feel like for some of us, for the younger cats, like I said earlier, he made us feel like we were the kids that he never had, and
even if you're new, like just
Yeah.
starting out, he'd just be like, you know, hey, come on in, you can do, you know, anything that anybody who's been here forever can do.
Yeah, and the thing I want to ask you guys before we get on out of here is
And go get some Sweet Lou's.
Shouts out to Sweet Lou's Barbecue, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
man.
Sweetlou.com.
Sweet
Right?
Lou.
.com or .org? I don't know.
.com.
.com.
The best
Sweetlou.com.
barbecue ever.
Best barbecue.
My
Rolling.
question to you guys is favorite memory. Like the one memory that you guys will remember till
I
to the
got
day
something.
you guys are put in the grave.
Okay, I'm going to go first, right, real quick, because I got it. When we used to be in class and he used to mumble to himself like, oh, yeah, cut this on, cut this. Oh, that's why this is not working, because this is not plugged in right here. Oh, maybe if I plug this in, this will work. Okay, boom, there we go. Okay, all right. Now, so here, yeah, that's just the constant energy, man, just the energy that he has.
And that's exactly what Ken was, a ball of energy that could not be put out no matter what happens. Like those were always my favorite times, watching him try to get the audio working through his laptop.
Well, if I turn this on, maybe we do this. Yeah.
My second semester, I was broadcasting here when he was teaching the radio program over there, and something happened. I don't know what happened. I was new to it. I was crashed or whatever. I ran into his classroom. He didn't even care that I interrupted it. And I go, oh, hey, I'm down. You know what he says? He goes, hey, this is Gary. G-Rock, he hosts the G-Rock Demo Radio Show. I go, yeah, hi, we're dead air.
Yeah, and he would usually Ken would usually send either me or Joe to
exactly. You guys bailed me out. How many times? Without Robert and Ken and Joe, I'd be lost. Definitely.
Mark?
You know what? I guess I don't know. I guess I can say that he was I don't know, just the way kind of how when I first started radio, I was kind of like all shy and like didn't even think of like, you know, going into like gonna do my own radio show and do any of that. And then like, you know, I was in the club for a little while just kind of observing, and then like all of a sudden we're doing like elections and he's like, oh, Mark, like you can be like, you know, oh, treasurer, like, oh, like, you know, oh, Mark will be vice president, like, you know, just nominating me.
Yeah.
to grow, to be a bigger, like, you know.
Well, and to be fair, Mark, remember that was the day when you were being nominated for VP.
Yeah.
That was the day Sosa stopped by for a quick second.
Yeah.
And I actually tried to nominate Sosa for VP.
One more plug for Sweet Lou's Barbecue.
Danny, before you get out of here, we're saying what our all-time favorite memory of Ken is. The one that we will take to the grave.
Well, then you want to kind of give us yours to kind of.
While Danny's thinking over here.
Yeah, while Danny's thinking.
Mine.
He's thinking it. He got his mouth full of that Sweet Lou's barbecue. See, that's what Sweet Lou's do to you. You ask the DJ from this station or KCTY, KLBC you ask them a question and they got that Sweet Lou's in front of them. You know, you might not hear nothing. There might be a little bit of dead silence, but we still here with you, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Sweet Lou's.
While Danny's fishing his plate there, my all-time favorite memory that I'll take to the grave has to be the when he came down and supported me when I got my award. I mean, you know, I never felt like so choked up and teary-eyed before than I did that night, and I would have felt the same way if any of you guys had been there. Yeah, because you guys, and I'll say it till once again I'll say it till I'm 6 feet under, but you guys are family to me, and that's why
we all are family, man.
That's why I tell you guys all the time we need to stick together, and you guys specifically you, Herb, Mark, and Danny, you guys are brothers for life to me.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an emotional whirlwind day here at Long Beach City College and KLBC KCTY for College Radio Day. Yeah. But we didn't get Ken to call in, but this will be saved on the YouTube channel lbcrd.com. And Ken, I will be, if you're listening, I will send you the link so you can hear everything that we said about you today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I
check
also
out our interviews.
yeah, and I actually will be going back to watch this whole segment because there were some moments where I had to step out and wait for Lou to bring the food.
Sweet Lou.
But with that being said, stay tuned because in about an hour, I would say, because we're at 1:44. Little less than an hour. Jammin' Live will be going live on YouTube at 3 o'clock and ending around.
Which is another thing Borders helped out with.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't a video guy, he just,
Yeah.
Still helped out. He helped out in every department.
Yeah.
Little did you know.
And stay tuned for that because they've got who's the first artist, Mark? Herb.
Yeah.
Well, let me see here. The first artist is going to be great because they're coming here and they're at Long Beach City College, LAC campus, where German live.
It's a good, great act. You know, they're going to be chock full of fun.
Let me go into my notes here. Because I am making a fool out of myself here. Damon Tajian.
Yeah, Damon Tajian Band.
Yes, and along with the Michael Mills Band, if you're a fan of blues rock, you know the Michael Mills Band real well. Yep. They will be going on. Both acts will be live on Jammin' Live at 3:00 today, and we're hoping for a great semester of KLBC and KCTY. We got a bunch of brand new shows coming in.
New faces.
Of course, some returning faces like the ones you're listening to right now.
You dig.
Same Old Blues is coming back next Wednesday night, 6 to 8 p.m.
Check it out.
And I've got some great new music to break on the station that I've already been breaking on 22 West Radio. Please don't bite it. What you got coming up?
Please don't bite it, man. I just got a bunch of interviews. If you're out there listening, man, my show is about any type of genre of music you want to come in. It's basically talk. We listen to instrumentals. You got anything you want to play, as long as it's clean, put it on the air. Come on, I'm here to support you and your movement, man, and that's what I'm about.
DJ, please don't bite it. Don't discriminate on music.
Oh yeah, I sure don't. I don't, and I suggest that you please don't bite it. You know, everybody come with their original style and their original, and just be original. And what I like to do is when guests come to my show, I basically hand my show over to them. I'm just the engineer, and I want you to feel comfortable. I don't want you to feel like it's an interview. I want you to just be yourself and just come and we can talk. And
like as if you're just shooting the breeze with.
Exactly. There you go, Rob. You already know.
Like you're at a family barbecue and you're just shooting the breeze with the cousin you haven't seen.
Barbecue.
With the cousin you haven't seen in 15 years.
Exactly.
And I could probably guess and. Herb, you probably haven't thought about this, because of the fact that that your DJ name is Please Don't Bite It. Would you say that your show is going to be named The Dog Pound?
No, it's Danger Room Radio, named after my other alias, but that's not my DJ name. But it's all good.
DJ Shark?
Shark.
You're not coming back?
I don't have a time slot.
Well, tell me your time, man, and I'll put you in.
Yeah, Friday's open. I'm the only one on Friday right now from 4 to 6.
But at the same time, we got G-Rock's Demo Radio coming back next Monday, 12 to 3. Jazz with George is going to be coming back next Wednesday for 2 hours of swinging jazz. Wednesdays 4 to 6, and we got more great shows coming in. So please stay tuned. And for Please Don't Bite It and DJ Shark, this is Brother Lil Son Eliv saying, we'll catch you further on up the road.
All right.
But the vision is still the same. Out of my mind, but the memory remains unchanged.